Hey guys, CGDannyB back again with another episode of Pokemon Gotta Watch 'Em All, the show where we watch every single Pokemon movie, talk about them, the things we love, the things we hate, and then we rank them, talk about which ones are the best, which ones are the worst, Incineroar T poses on the other side of the table, and then, yeah, we do that. So I got my team, of course. I've got, what are you doing to Totodile?
He's trying to Marilyn Manson himself.
I got the crew, I got Dante.
You realize you gotta wait until like later into the video to do that?
No. It's adult enough and metaphorical.
Yes, Dante, Shuri, hello.
I've got Kanai.
What's up?
I've got Chris.
Hold on.
And I've got Princeton. This week, we are watching Pokemon Forever.
Yes.
I forget the subtitle of this one.
This movie's so fucking good that they had to give it a name because this shit lasts forever.
Pokemon Forever
This
is
shit's
the
so
Celebi Onion Fairy. I forget what it's called. I didn't write it down.
It's not fair yet.
It's something to do with
It's not fair
time.
yet.
Fair.
Something with time.
Time.
Wasn't it Grass Psychic originally?
Was it? That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was Grass Psychic
The
originally.
voice of the forest, I don't know.
I think it
That's
is.
what
I
they
think
call
it
in the
is.
movie.
Yeah.
Is it, that's what they call it in the movie.
So,
Yeah.
Is that time travel?
my ringtone used to be the from the movie, and it was very high pitched to the point where like my mom got tired of it.
Yeah.
She's like, "Shut the shit off," because it was my alarm too when I woke up, and of course you wake up to that.
Yeah.
My text tone was Songbird from Bioshock Infinite.
Oh,
So you
you're
would
the
just
worst.
hear a bunch of steampunk like every time I got a text. My roommates hated me.
I wasn't even his roommate. I hated it. I was like, Danny, that shit needs to change. I don't want the Shovel Knight something.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, this week we watch Pokemon Forever, the fourth movie in the installation of the franchise. I don't know, whatever. Early impressions. What do we think of Pokemon Forever?
I remember less of this movie than I thought I did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're just like, that happened? Okay.
Actually, same.
I remember certain points, and then the rest of the movie, it's almost like I'm watching it for the first time because I'm just like, what
Weird.
is going on?
This movie helped create.
I had this movie. Like this, I actually physically own.
I have this one on DVD. It's the first one I've owned physically. I had to watch it on YouTube.
This movie was good for making Houndoom feel as scary as what he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because I think Team Rocket members have them. Team Magma members have them. And then some other evil organizations throughout in the future.
Probably
They'll have one, either Houndoom or Houndour. And it's neat to see him here because it's like he's meant to be he's clearly meant to be a villain.
Yeah.
He's become like a mob type Pokemon.
And I think that he's the perfect one for like that archetype of like Team Rocket villain. That and Crobat are like the two that I see.
Crobat's a good
I see you.
And Scyther. I mean, it's always nice to see Scyther. So.
This has been my favorite movie since a child because I remember it being like the most like, what just happened to who now? And like it was like mind-boggling to me as a kid. And I only remembered the plot twist and like the sad moment of the movie, and that's it. I didn't remember like anything else, especially the villain. I was just like, Suicune's the villain. And I was like, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Like when I was rewatching, I was like, yeah, why would Suicune be the villain? That doesn't make sense to it at all. And then
He just came off of Entei.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So
Dog
like,
was bad.
didn't remember a lot of it. It gives me like this movie is like 3 different Studio Ghibli movies, just like slammed together. And I was just like, am I watching Princess Mononoke, the short version? Is that what's happening?
Chris, you like the movie?
It's okay.
I enjoyed it. Because the difference from when you hit start to when you're like, hey, the movie ended. Like it would.
Yeah, it
like
felt like an
as
episode.
quick as Thanos
Yeah.
snapped his fingers, like it felt like it was done. I'm like, I feel like I'm missing parts of this
Yeah.
movie, but I watched the whole thing.
So let's just get right into this plot here. Brock, he's our narrator now. He's just like, check it out, the world of Pokemon. This is Ash. She got a Pikachu. Phil Stroger already fucking know. It's all good.
Yeah.
I like how every movie starts with this, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey,
Just in case you didn't know.
Just in case you didn't know, this is the world of Pokemon.
In case you haven't watched 4 generations of Pokemon, this is Ash. You might have heard of him.
Here's Ash, a 10-year-old. We just want to remind you, he's still 10.
Yeah, after 25 years, that's what they're announcing on fucking Post Malone Day. They're gonna be like, Ash aged a year.
He's like, guys, he's
11! He's 11. He just comes out full beard. He's got a neck tattoo.
So
11-year-olds walk around.
have you seen the memes of
They're
Post
gonna be-
Malone? And like he has the thing that says too tired and it's in unknowns. And he has a bunch of Ferrothorns here.
But yeah, so as the movie begins, we have a nice peaceful forest, and then we see a little fairy thing go flying by, and then we hear, which is
Yeah.
Houndoom chasing after this little fairy who we don't know who it is yet. Some little green onion looking thing. Also being chased by a Scyther. Really scary, intimidating. We don't really know what to think of it. Then we cut to this nice little man just like, oh boy, I'm enjoying the forest. I don't know what I'm doing out here, but I'm having a good time. Probably going to draw some Pokemon.
I want to go back real quick and say, you go from Houndoom, who sounds super menacing, and then Scyther, who's like, Scyther! Like, what?
For context, I watched it with these two, and I go, is Houndoom a fucking gorilla? Because all I hear is like, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I see it, and I'm like, okay, it's Houndoom.
Yeah.
That's actually the sound though that most dogs make.
I know, it was just like terrifying to me. I'm like not looking.
After he said it, because I had like 3D headphones on while I was listening to it, and I was like, I guess he does sound kind of funny. And then I heard like round my head. I'm like, oh wow. And I was like, that sounded weird. But yeah, so we have a young kid. We don't know his name yet, but a nice looking kid. I'm sure he'll be important here later. Meets a green-haired girl who introduces him to the voice of the forest. Says something about, hey, whenever this voice goes off, don't move because shit'll happen, so sit still. So he's like, sounds good, thank you. The legend says, walks through the forest. We come back to Celebi, who's like the prophecy Pokemon, the voice of the forest. Pinned down underneath Houndoom and Scyther. Scyther has the blade over, or Houndoom standing on it.
I think Houndoom's stepping on his body.
Scyther is ready to just.
But yeah, then old pirate man's just like, hey, I finally found Celebi.
Forgot the bread.
Oh, sorry. The green lady gives bread. It's important.
Gives bread.
Berry bread.
Berry bread.
But yeah, this pirate man's like, I'm a Pokemon hunter. I catch Pokemon and I sell them for money. And then Celebi's like, can't catch me. And in Kanai's words, uses the weakest frenzy plant to ever exist. And just kind of ties up Houndoom
it's just
and Scyther.
I like how this guy actually knows his Pokemon types.
Yeah.
Is he using both Dark and Bug
And
fire
fire,
against Celebi?
I think there could have been an awesome spin-off movie where this guy's like, I'm going to become a Pokemon hunter. It's like we follow the villain and he's just like, I'm smart.
He also just throws like elementary school molecular models
Yes.
at people, and he just
Just little nuts and bolts. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Gotta give that to Chris. Chris pointed that out to me. He's just like, damn, he's throwing science projects at Pokemon.
Chris and we were like, I'll let him have credit.
I had one funny.
And I stole it.
So yeah, young man's like, I'm gonna save you. Runs into Celebi, tries to get him. They escape, but he's being chased through the forest by old man pirate guy, Houndoom and Scyther. Until eventually Celebi's like, you know what? I got an idea, and then just like screams like, and then our young green-haired girl goes, is that time travel? Because like you just know the screams of what could be a child, we don't really know, just means time travel. And I feel like that was one of the most like convenient, but like, how do we tell a kid what's happening? Is that time travel? Oh, got it. Lock and key.
It's like she experienced it before, and she's just like,
Yes.
yeah, that shit, it's happening again.
Go move.
Got it.
My favorite part is then like post time travel, they're just like 40 years. Like they just,
40 years.
it's like, oh yeah, okay, solidifying it, got it.
Yeah.
Usually TV shows have like a pregnant person to tell time.
Yeah.
You can't do that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
This lady is pregnant for 40 years. Holy shit. See, we get our 40-year time skip, and we have this big, strong, scary man holding down our pirate Pokemon hunter. He's like,
who must be old as fuck, right?
Yeah.
See, he was fairly rough originally in the movie.
Yeah.
So this man's 40 years old now. I'm gonna guess
He's all
70,
gray.
80?
Yeah, he's all
Yeah.
gray.
That's how we know that the new guy is even more evil than the other one that we just got done dealing with. He's beating up an old man.
This new guy, because again, it's just like Lawrence. I don't think they give his name in the movie. You have to
don't.
Google it. This man is the Iron Masked Marauder.
Yeah, they say that, but they don't give his actual name.
Okay.
I think Team Rocket later says his
Got
name.
it. That makes
But
sense.
I think they bring it up once.
We were probably talking over it.
Probably.
So yeah, so this guy's like, where's Celebi? He's like, I'm still a Pokemon hunter. I'm not telling you shit. The guy's like,
I don't remember that line.
I'm not telling you shit.
Oh, sorry,
it's in
I'm
the-
not
it's in the
fucking telling you shit.
Japanese.
That's what it was. Yeah.
We were watching the sub because we're not fucking idiots. But
He's got 3D headphones. I mean, you hear all of them.
I hear everything.
You hear
I heard
one word.
Houndoom in the back being like, I'm an old gorilla. Acting like Harambe in the corner. Just, but yeah, so Iron Mask Marauder takes our hunter man outside and he's like, look at this assortment of Pokemon you have in cages. Hey, Sneasel, which is Iron Mask Marauder's Pokemon, cut open this cage. We cut it open. We have the shyest, most timid Tyranitar.
Bro, anxiety Tyranitar is a vibe. Yeah. It like made me love Tyranitar. Just like.
There was like a unison moan on the side, like the oh. I liked it. That was good. I hope the mic got that really well. But yeah, so Iron Mask Marauder pulls out this ball and it expands, and Hunter's like, "What's that thing?" He's like, "This is a dark ball. Anything I catch becomes pure evil." Just kind of solidifying this guy's.
Sounds like anime bullshit.
Yes.
So
pure evil.
I mentioned this to Dante earlier. The pattern on the ball is the same pattern that the unknowns were flying in Pokemon 3. And I like, since I watched them out of order, I watched 4 then 3. I noticed it and I was like, that's so weird. What's up with that pattern? Because it's just 2 alternating ripple patterns. That's all it is.
Let's pay attention, because in Heroes, which is our next one, they do a lot with the Soul Dew, and I don't think that'll have that
right.
recurrence,
And it was so weird. I was like, that's a random thing that I noticed. But
you know how like Law wears the hat and
yeah,
everybody wears that pattern?
Yeah.
So yeah, man's just like, "Dark Ball, come here, Tyranitar." And catch it, he's like, "Check this out." Brings it out. We have now like super anime, like Gurren Lagann looking Tyranitar. It was just like, I'm about to fuck some shit up. He's like, also, when he became an evil Pokemon, he must have forgot everything he learned except for Hyper Beam.
Yeah.
That's all he uses in this movie.
And he just rapid fires. He just.
So
He's
yeah,
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Time in between? Nah.
Tyranitar, Hyper Beam, and just starts blowing up the house, the windmill, and every other Pokemon sitting in a cage, just like, bye, dead. Just kill them all.
Nidoking,
So-
dead.
Nidoking, Pilot Swine.
That part is weird to me because
Probably
Go on.
Kanai and I were talking about it earlier. But like, I think the only reason timid Tyranitar existed was they wanted to show a drastic change.
100%.
But what
Makes
we
sense.
know of Tyranitar
He's evil.
is that it is the tyrant Pokemon.
Yes.
Like, it should be evil.
They could have easily grabbed like Nidoking, Nidoqueen,
Yeah.
Rhydon, like
Pilot
anything.
Swine.
Yeah. They probably wanted to use a Gen 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think
Which
it's-
Ursaring would have worked. Because
Yeah.
Ursaring's are very like.
Ursaring plays an important part later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Where he's
So
not
important.
rage filled.
But yeah, Iron Mask Marauder has an evil laugh. Title card. Pokemon Forever. Something about time travel and Celebi.
Cool ass transition.
Very
Yeah.
good transition, yeah. So now we cut the gang. We have we have Brock and Misty chilling by the boat like, where is this Ash kid? We have to get on this boat to go somewhere, which I don't know if they define where they're going.
Nope.
Before,
They're just
yeah,
they're just
they're just
trying.
like-
That's the boat.
I think they literally say, we need to get further in our journey. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, where?
So Brock's like, Crobat, I choose you. Now I just thinking about this now.
Zubat,
I don't know
Crobat.
I don't know what the time difference is
That's a
between.
huge glow up, isn't
Yeah,
it?
between
So
3 and Forever.
Ash at this point should have, without exaggeration, at least 6 badges.
Yeah.
For
Well, I
sure.
think
I'd
he said
imagine.
he's doing the league, not the gym challenge. I think. I think he said he's doing the
So he got past
the
Claire.
Orange Islands. I think is what he said.
Probably.
I think.
Well, I'm thinking his team.
The
So he's
Orange
got
Islands would have just
Bailey.
been off of Kanto, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Would it?
Or
Oh, okay.
whatever's-
Is it Orange Islands then Johto?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, right, because Tracy's with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah, you're
think,
right.
I don't know.
So I want to say the reason I say 6 is because I remember Brock got Crobat before they got to Blackthorn City, which is like the 8th badge.
I
So we
realized,
assume he at least has 6. We don't know that he beat Claire,
I
but
just
yeah.
realized you don't see Quilava at all in this movie. He
so
probably
fun
would've had
fact,
Quilava.
I didn't write it down. So he still has Totodile and Cyndaquil. Quilava's like a
Okay.
4 generation later evolved.
Oh,
Yeah, he
weird.
evolved that in one episode, one random
Yeah,
episode. where
I
he
think it's
got-
like Diamond and Pearl. He goes back to Oaks. All the Pokemon go missing, and Cyndaquil saves the day and evolves.
Okay.
But yeah, so on original advertisements for this, they showed Bayleaf, Totodile, and Cyndaquil.
And neither of them were-
Bayleaf is the only one
Oh,
that
okay.
shows up.
It's okay, because Bay's Bay.
Bayleaf.
Bayleaf is the best of the 3
Yeah.
from that line.
Yeah, Brock's like, hey, Crobat, go find Ash. And Ash is out fighting the most Australian dude in fucking movie. He's like, all right, what was his name?
Dundee.
Oh,
Yeah, he's like, my
I'm
name's Dundee. He's my crocodile. Yeah, like that's his whole thing. And I was like, yo, they just named this kid Dundee. That's like, what? That's on the nose. Yeah.
So Ash is like, I'm
Guys
gonna be the
just
Pokemon
not only
master.
went with a stereotype, but even hammered the nail in even more.
Crocodile, yeah.
So Crocodile versus Pikachu, we have a little bit of back and forth. Pikachu gets launched in the air, electrocutes a lamp. Crocodile's trying to bite him. I think a headbutt launches him back
There's a
into his
Pichu
trainer.
there for some reason.
Pichu's like, oh, hey.
Oh, because this was this Pikachu and Pichu? Or was that...
This
No,
one would have
Well,
been.
it-
This
Pichu-
is,
There's a woman like watering
Yeah,
her
there's some-
flowers
okay.
or tending
the
to
short
some
for
shit,
this
and it was,
one
like, on her
was
shoulder.
Pikachu's Peekaboo.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Which has a bop song in it, which I'm probably gonna listen to on the drive home. But everybody run, everybody hide. It's a good fucking song. But yeah, so Pikachu headbutt knocks Crocodile back with the sheer force of his Pika neck or whatever he fucking does.
Or the lack thereof.
And Ash is like, oh, it's not over yet, son of a bitch. Electrocute the trainer and the Crocodile. So
Use
Ash
Thunderbolt. He just points and Pikachu's like, yo,
Go!
bet.
and just kills the guy. I
and
forgot
then-
we do have a nice remix of the intro again. But.
And then Jenny comes around, and then the credits roll.
Yes, arrested and done. Didn't even need Selby.
Just like how Ash the whole time is just like, sorry about that.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Hey,
By the
He's
way,
not-
you
he's
know
like,
what
"Are you okay?"
giant ass Pokemon just found him? Crobat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All he has to do is hold on to Crobat.
Yeah.
And Crobat can yee him back
Except they
into
make
the
him so
boat.
small. in
Yeah,
the
because
show.
I don't think the anime doesn't scale properly.
Yeah, 'cause he's like
we
6
talk
feet.
about Furret the whole time.
Yeah.
Who is like 6'5",
7-foot
feet.
weasel, yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's really small. in this
Obviously,
movie.
that's length, not height, so it's different.
Right.
But
It
yeah,
still
you
should be
see
a lot bigger than what it is.
100%. Yeah, it's like knee high, the Ursa ring or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so now we have the Ash is like, shit, I gotta get to the boat. Sorry, kid, I hope you don't die. Runs through the town. Brock and Mitch are like, hey, Ash is coming. Crobat makes it, and then Ash gets cut off by a convenient little cart. Finally makes it through, makes the jump for the boat and misses, and then gets captured by no one else but his own father. Because that was the meme we made in our Discord
Yeah,
call.
yeah, because the guy looks like he could just be, like, he's like older Ash with slightly green hair and facial hair. And it's just like, sir?
Yeah, this is our main-ish character that I don't think gets a name.
Doesn't,
but
he's just Boatman.
important, so
Yeah.
we call him Boatman.
Which
the
is
whole
great
time.
because Dundee gets a fucking name just to die.
I partially just want to see. I wanted to see the outcome of him just completely buffing it and going into the water.
Yeah,
and
you
then
probably just lifted him up.
because it's not like you don't have Pokemon, other Pokemon that can't help you back. I just wanted to see. I think it would have been
See him like that,
hilarious.
yeah,
It's like at the end, Pokemon.
That would have been
Shit.
a good way to intro it.
But no, we needed Ash's dad for exposition.
Exactly.
So, flies in the boat, possibly father, I have a note here. So they're talking like, hey, we're going to a place. I have this really cool forest town I can take you to, because again, we don't have a goal here, we're just going somewhere. And then Pikachu's like, y'all hear that shit in the forest? And then the whole team looks over and is like, oh, there's Suicune just kind of hanging out, staring at
There's
us.
that
and
thing
zips
with
away.
butt ribbons.
Yeah, sorry, they don't know the name. Like, it's a big blue dog. It kind of reminds you of that Entei we fought that Molly brought to life. So they got on a phone call with Professor Oak, like, oh, hey, we saw this big blue dog that had ribbons. They're like, sounds like Suicune. He's like, have you ever seen Suicune, Professor Oak? Only once in my time. Now,
But then right before that, he's just like, well, plenty of people have said that they've seen Suicune, but it could not be Suicune. And then they're like, have you ever seen it? Yes, I have.
I feel like, do we talk about the big plot twist now? You think it's worth bringing up, or should we save it for the end?
I think you should save it.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. So Oak's like, yeah, I've seen it one time. Let's go. Bye. So Ash's like, sorry, I got to get out of here. My dad's waiting for me on the boat. Hangs up. I feel bad if
I should
anything.
tell him.
Yeah. And then Oak's like,
I wonder
left
if I
out some
should have
important
told
stuff.
him that was Suicune. But it could not have been Suicune.
Could have been gas, swamp gas, you know.
that was Coyote.
You know what?
Weather balloon.
Bungie, when they made Destiny 1, they watched this movie and they took inspiration. Like, that shit, it hits different. And that's why they're just like, I don't have time to explain why I don't have time to explain. It's one of those things.
So we hop on the speedboat. We go through the forest. Team Rocket doing their fun little chaser thing like they always do.
Yay, Da Vinci Team Rocket coming up with Da Vinci
My favorite
technology.
thing here is I was like, is that boat just moving on its own? And Danny goes,
There's
no,
probably a
there's a
propeller."
motor. Yeah, we'll get to that.
The boat transforms and flies away, and then it pulls in like a little button. And I was like, look, there's no motor, there's no propeller. The boat's just golden. And
Yeah, I was like, the boat's just proceeding with no power source, and then it grows a propeller. He goes, there it is. And I was like, no, because it was hidden. I was so confused.
I'm just gonna put it out there. This boat is like 5 times better than the flying boat.
I was like,
Melody.
yeah, is this better than Melody's boat? So the boat flies in, they land in Arborville. Can I, with your tree/town word?
I was like, oh, great. The fucking town that just means synonym for tree and synonym for town. Great.
Welcome to Tree Town.
Yeah, welcome to Tree Town.
So the gang starts exploring the town. They see a nice, cool forest opening. They start to go in, and little old lady grandma, who I forget if we get a name for her. We got her granddaughter. or
I think they give her a name when she meets the
whatever.
kid.
Kid.
But I don't think we get it ever after that.
Okay. We'll call her Grandma. So Grandma's like, you fucking kids, calm down. If you hear a scream, don't move. And they're like, okay.
Warned a kid about that before, never showed back up. Don't know what the fuck happened. Probably moved. He probably fucking moved.
Fucking gone. 60 minutes, we don't got enough time.
I'm a little pissed about this whole situation. It just changed my life.
Gave him bread. I wanted to eat that bread so fucking bad.
I wanted to split that bread with him, but nah, he took it. 40 years in the fucking future.
Do you still have it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
He do.
So then her granddaughter, daughter, whoever it is, shows up. It's like, hi, I'm young and look like the lady from 40 years ago. And Brock's like, I'd fuck you. It's like, well, we have things to do.
Wow, you really hear a lot with those 3D headphones.
Dude, everything. I hear it all.
He hears even internal thoughts.
He hears all the Pokemon that you think aren't in the movie.
Yeah.
Like Totodile and
You wait. Once I pick fucking Greninja for this one, and I'm like, he was there.
He was there. He just didn't hear
Oh,
it.
I heard his water
I
shrinking.
love the movie he's in.
What's that?
Yeah, have you watched the movie that Greninja's in?
That is...
I don't know.
It's not Volcanion.
I don't know the
I
name.
forget.
Is that the McGearna movie?
Probably.
I think so.
McGearna's the one.
I'm just,
No, it's Dianthe.
I'm just really,
Dianthe.
I'm just really hoping that when that time comes around, I go first, so that way I can just snipe
I'd
Greninja.
be so pissed at you. I'd be so pissed, and we would cancel Soul Link.
I'm the Soul Link partner now. I take your seat on the couch. I take your seat in the Soul Link.
Just take over my life.
Gang goes walking through, like, let's go see, and then all of a sudden they hear a nice little scream, but we don't know what's going on. And, oh God, there's a kid here chilling on the floor, along with a Celebi. The Celebi hid behind a statue, so it's like, let's carry this kid into town.
I'm surprised the game didn't zoom out to the grandma who was like, that's the voice of the forest.
That's time travel.
She starts having PTSD, like,
That's when the kid vanished.
My bread! So yeah, Ash is like, I'm a god, I would carry this kid back to town. They take it to Grandma, and then Grandma's just like, oh hey, I think I know that kid. Kid wakes up like, where's my fucking Celebi?
Yeah.
Just starts swinging.
Yeah. He like shoves Ash, and Ash is like, I just carried you for like a fucking mile. And he's like, I'm gonna punch this kid.
Which is impressive for
Yeah.
Ash to do that, isn't it?
Normally that's Brock's job. Brock's just
Right.
like, I'm good.
I'm the big dumb cook.
He does it later in the movie.
I think there's a lot in this movie that
Movie.
just kind of, in this movie, that just happens because it can, and it pauses everything for a moment, even as quick as this movie goes. It's like,
Right.
let's pause it for like 3 seconds, just so we can find some inconvenience that really doesn't affect anything.
Right.
We'll get to that later with Misty and her fucking ears. So yeah, we go inside, we get a little more like, hey, voice of the forest, it was Celebi that took you back in time. You went missing 40 years ago. And he's like, shit, I don't know what happened, but we gotta find Celebi. It's like, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Sam.
Totally a normal reaction to just realizing you've been propelled
Yeah.
in the future.
I love it because
Fuck my
everybody-
Pokemon.
Every-
Fuck that. Everything before. You wasted 40 years.
Everybody in the fucking movie just goes, oh, that makes sense. Time travel, yeah. Yeah, we don't know what the Celebi fucking thing is, but it probably.
I heard
But
her
time
scream
travel
40
is a
years ago.
bitch.
to
Yeah.
be fair, there's other time travel Pokemon, though.
Oh, yeah.
Sure,
they could
do well
At the
we have them
time,
at this point.
yeah.
Not at this time.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
time
but
travel.
but in theory, all these Pokemon have existed.
Sure.
So all that, like,
Ash
just because
doesn't
Gen
know
4
that.
Pokemon
Yeah.
have been shown, like,
Right.
they still exist.
Ash is the one that checks out every fucking Pokemon he sees after he's seen it 4 times.
And this is
Even
my
after he
favorite
has
part.
it himself.
Yeah.
He's, oh, fuck, who's that?
This is my favorite
Dunfin,
part
okay.
because the kid goes, I'm Sam. And he's like, oh, I'm Ash. And then I go, spoiler for the ending.
Yes.
And Chris is like,
I
This
took
is
it
the
as a
best-
fucking joke.
Okay, so when we were watching this, Kanai and I both seen the movie. Chris had not, because we watched it in a Discord call together. Kanai said a spoiler
The
for
plot
the end of
twist.
the movie, and I had no response, but I'm sitting there like, Kanai, Chris hasn't seen it yet. And Chris is just like, whoop, and
Yeah.
like just,
Because I wanted to go on the record, whenever Danny and Kanai say anything in like a joking manner, I take it as such. I think they're dicking around, I think they're joking about it. I didn't think it was serious at all. Anything they say, they
Yeah.
can tell me the sky's blue, well, green in a jokingly manner, I'd be like, fuck, okay?
I guess they're lying.
This is fucking liars. Both of them.
So yeah, we find out we have Sam. Nice to meet you. Let's all go find our friend Celebi, because we were about to throw hands a minute ago, but now we're best friends.
That's how
carrying me.
Pokemon works.
Absolutely. So they go to find Celebi. It's like, oh, there's a big tree. Celebi must be up there. So they climb it, find a bunch of Pokemon circling this little hole, and then they're like, oh, there's Celebi sleeping on the floor. Come here, buddy. And instead of being like, hey, I'm going to pet you, that Celebi's like, fuck off. little frenzy plant
Yep,
again.
mini frenzy plant.
Knocks Ash off the thing, and then Ash climbs. They make a joke about him being a Mankey or
Planet.
evolving into a primate. What?
Frenzy planet.
That's fucking
Everything just starts
That-
vibrating.
Did I spell it right the first time? I don't even know if I wrote it.
The weakest frenzy plant. Weakest frenzy planet.
I don't know why, but that line from Misty about Ash climbing like a Mankey sounds like one of the weakest things that voice actress has ever did.
Yes.
She's just like, am I really making this joke? Okay. Wow. You're really climbing like a Mankey.
Yeah, after some convincing, Celebi says, sure, I'll let you help me. So they start carrying Celebi away, and Team Rocket does the thing where they drop in, like, I'm going to get you. And they're like, no, you're not. I think, they like break a tree branch or something after their monologue. And then,
Yes.
yeah, they're like, bye-bye.
Did you put in
Is
the
it-
fucking they do their normal motto, and then it gets to James and he goes, ha ha
I love that laugh. I want it to be. I want it to be my text tone. I love it.
But I do want to talk about this. So we've gone the last 3 movies where I feel kind of like Team Rocket has like progressed a little bit.
Okay.
I feel like this movie they regress.
Sure.
So they go back to what they were
In terms of, like, character?
In terms
As
of
in,
character,
okay.
because like in the second and third movie, they were mostly helpful for the most part, especially in the third movie more than
Yeah.
anything. They
Yeah.
weren't like threats at all.
They stopped
But
Ash
then-
from falling out a window.
Yeah.
I think
and then
it's situational.
and then this fourth movie, it just feels kind of like
Give me Pikachu.
I don't know. I personally, after watching these movies kind of back to back, I feel like I've been seeing their characters
Sure.
progress, and
I
then
think
in
it's-
this
yeah.
movie, it seems like they step back.
But at the end of the movie, always have like the reflection on, I'm a better person because I've learned this, but I still want the Pikachu. Like, yeah, I see it.
I see what you're saying. I think it's also because the situation didn't call for them to be part of the plot as much as the
They
other
didn't need
ones.
to save anything this time.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
were-
I didn't think about that though. That's a good like.
Yeah, it's a little odd to me, but it's ultimately not like a big deal because
Team
we
Rocket's
all
my favorite part.
know that Team Rocket's always going to be trying to catch Pikachu in the end.
So Team Rocket's actually my favorite part in like the anime or the movies because
Okay.
like what they're doing is always more interesting to me than whatever the fuck Ash is going through right now.
But after Team Rocket fumbles and bumbles and smashes the face to the ground, the real villain shows up, the Iron Masked Marauder.
On
It
his
is
fucking meta.
Oh, real
A
villain?
giant-
Hang on. Is it Zapdos underneath?
in his Galarian Metagross or whatever I called it. It was a dark type Metagross machine.
Yeah. Just a 4-legged big metal thing.
But he's like, no, I see that little green onion you got. I want it. Go, Tyranitar. Godzilla shows up and
Dude, and there was like no time between when he stepped out, looked over, and identified this small little onion, like that's like covered like this. He's
that's
just like,
what I want.
that I want that shit. And it's, how at that height? Like,
I'm just surprised like everybody at this point knows what legendary
Yeah.
what all the legendary Pokemon are.
What's
Just
Celebi?
right
Yeah.
from the get-go, it's just like that's
Except
Celebi.
Ash
Isn't he
and the
supposed
gang.
to be like a mythical Pokemon?
They gotta call Oak and be like, yo, Oak, and so he gets screen time and they can pay him.
That's Suicune. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, what about the green one? We can't talk about that one.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one yet.
don't know shit
Say
about that
later.
one. Go back to the blue one.
The old lady who yells at you is going to tell you, don't move when you hear the voice of the farm. Tyranitar starts blasting off hyper beams, and Team Rocket's like, those are our twerps. So they use Wheezy and throw up a smog, block everything. The gang escapes, and the Iron Marauder's like, who are you fuckheads for getting in my way? And they're like, oh, is that Team Rocket garb? Oh my god, the Iron Mask Marauder. Oh, we worship you. Can we come with you? And they join Iron Mask Marauder and say, hey, we're kind of backup guys. It's great. Is this the part? Yeah, here, fuck it is. Jesus Christ. So the Iron Mask Marauder's like, hey, Sneasel, Scizor, go find these kids. I need you to get that Celebi back. The gang's doing a little hop, rockin' shit, and then Misty takes a step and goes, oh, I twisted my knee.
Brock comes up, grabs her arm and goes, wow, that's really bad. Are you okay?
There's a lot. If you go back and watch, if any of you go back and watch this movie, there's a lot of redundant Brock in this
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
to where he just says the same thing that just happened, and it's
Yeah.
just like, okay, thanks, Brock.
Thank you, Brock.
I love you, but
Listen.
why?
Brock put all of his efforts into the narration at the beginning. We don't need him to power through anymore. He did all the heavy
He
lifting.
needs to stop with the narrating because we don't need that anymore. We are seeing this happen.
These are just extra lines he did in the sound booth. They're like, hey, we want you to actually start narrating the movies at the beginning, and then we'll give you scripts. He's like, What if I'm narrating shit. Okay. Oh, damn, Misty, you twisted your knee. Is that good? Do you want another take? Do we leave that in the movie? Can we make a scene for that? Okay. But yeah, so now because Misty's been slowed down with her twisted knee, oh no, the Pokemon catch up. Scizor and Sneasel are here.
Two of the fastest fucking Pokemon in the game.
Yeah,
Couldn't
so-
catch up the children.
Which honestly, obviously, Misty twisted her knee so that Scizor and Sneasel would catch up.
Right.
But could they not just catch up?
They would have eventually, yeah.
they
They,
didn't
just
really
did it
need the
faster.
knee twisting
Yeah.
stuff. Because then it gets fixed in like 2 minutes anyway.
Even though it never affected her in the first place. She's like,
Yeah.
ow, my knee. And then she's fucking sprinting and like
Yeah.
skipping and
Well,
like,
I think Brock carries her the rest of
Oh,
the way.
does
and
he?
Drops her in the
Okay.
lake or something. But so yeah, Ash and Sam are like, let's fight. We got this. Ash sends out Bayleaf to fight the Scizor.
Yes.
And then, yeah.
If I that can opener.
Yeah.
homeboy
Sam pulls out
gets
the ancient Pokeball
Yeah.
that looks like
high school
You
locker.
need a fucking
Yeah.
fork to open it.
And then I thought I remembered him catching something with it. I thought I remembered him twisting it and like tossing it
Yeah.
and it hitting and like the thing spinning until it catches. I made that awesome ass scene up in my fucking head.
Yeah.
Because what he does is he pulls it out, he goes, and the fucking bottom just goes, and it just like, Charmeleon. I'm like,
And then Ash goes, what's that?
yeah. Why do I have better ideas than fucking okay?
Because fans. We always have better ideas. But yeah, they do some fun stuff. Bayleaf can't hit Scizor because of double team. But then he's like, concentrate. I did it. Bop. And then Charmeleon's like, oh, good job, Bayleaf. Watch this. Headbutt. Sneasel's dead.
Yeah.
Like, it's just-
Not type advantage. Not.
That Charmeleon,
No, well-
that Charmelion's
Well,
old,
does he-
old battle formula from the last 3 movies.
is Sneasel's just ice?
Ice
Ice
Dark.
Dark.
Ice
Ice
Dark.
Dark. Is Weavile Ice Dark?
Ice
Yeah.
Dark.
Okay.
Oh.
For some reason I thought Steel.
Yep.
But
You know what I'll tell you after because it's something pertaining to the last movie that I just remembered now.
okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Steel types.
Because it involves dark types, but there were no dark types in the previous movie.
Okay, gotcha. Well, spoilers. Post-mortem spoiler? I don't know.
Post-mortem. It's already dead.
But yeah, so the team, they beat the Pokemon, and then Iron Master Ronder's like, hey, I wonder if they got that Celebi. And we have Scizor and Sneasel like tied up to a rock.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I guess they're not going anywhere. The gang marches on as they continue through the forest, and this cute little pair, I'm assuming mom and daughter or mom and son or something, of Ursaring and Teddy Ursa are like, sup, that Celebi? Come with me.
Dude, that tiny, that Ursaring just
Turns around.
just does the.
So they march through the mist for presumably like 10, 15 minutes, and then they run into Stantler, and they're like,
Stantler.
it sounds like, follow me.
Stantler should not have had it should not say its name.
So Stantler sounds like somebody like was sick in the booth and they didn't know, like the manager was sick and the person in the booth is like, so what's the Pokemon supposed to sound like? Yeah, they just said their name. He's like, Stantler.
Stantler.
Which, by the way,
It
like,
should be like,
Ursaring
like it
and
should make deer
Stantler?
noises.
It should be one of those Pokemon that makes noises because with them doing the name, it did not fit for me.
so having a Stantler and an Ursaring makes
Yeah.
perfect sense for a forest.
Yeah.
The ferret's kind of weird.
You leave that ferret alone!
Because ferrets don't live in the forest. There's way too many natural predators. In
That's
there.
because you keep them in the cage.
So,
They're
uh,
7 feet tall. You see
they-
a giant fucking 7-foot weasel roll up. You're like,
So, like,
no, I'm good.
Like, you think about all the Pokemon that can live in a forest, which there's a lot more that can live in a forest than some that can't.
Right.
The fact that they chose this, and I understand they were going for a Gen 2, but there's so many other Gen 2 Pokemon.
What if an Azumarill led it to the water because water is
Yeah.
That'd be really nice. I wouldn't have mind just seeing just Sentret.
Yeah.
Just being like, it's tall grass.
Like a
and it's just
raccoon.
like, sup? And
standing
just
on his
like-
tail?
You only see like here where the grass is going, it's just Sentret kind of making its way through the grass. I think that would have been cute. But
Well,
I guess,
If the
I love that they're,
Nerf
like,
shows up,
lead
he's
it.
just beating you.
I love that it's just like lead it, and the fur just like
Should also be-
goes like 15 feet ahead of it and goes, alright. And then just keeps running, and they're just like, oh,
are you fucking coming or what?
Yeah.
They're gonna make that a Satu too.
Yeah?
Ooh,
I think it's
that would
Satu
have been clean.
because they would have just fly away or teleport and then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
point.
that would have been pretty cool.
I just think how Stantler's purpose was just the guy at the door. He's the bouncer. He has the list, and he just. Okay.
Stantler.
Yep. There we go.
But after Furt leads them to this lake, it's like, man, I wonder what this lake is. Oh, this must be the lake of life that the old lady told us about earlier that is important to time travel and shit. So like, how do we fix this? Just put Celebi in the water. So they drop Celebi in the water, do this holy baptism thing, and all of a sudden it's like, yo, I feel pretty good. I'm flying. And Celebi comes out of the water, starts picking people up. I think it's the part where Celebi kind of like taps Ash's hat, and you're like, I knew you for like 5 minutes. Don't touch my shit. Yeah, Brock realizes like life. They start flying. Celebi's like, come with me. Picks him up. They do one of those fun little dance in the air.
Another redundant Brock
Yeah.
line where it's like, this must be the lake of life.
So
it
here's the
brought
thing.
Celebi back to life.
Taps Misty's
Here's the
leg.
thing. Why not bottle the fucking water?
You think?
Retire as a Pokemon trainer. Become a fucking guru. Like, you can literally lie and say, oh yeah, there's the new treatment. I need you to take this pill. Drink the water. It's a sugar pill. They think it's the pill. You become a self-made millionaire
Smart.
by just draining the lake. You know.
Plot twist, it only works on onion Pokemon, so it doesn't.
It's only one.
So, does your condition? Are you an onion? No. Okay, this will
I
not
don't
work on
think
you.
so. My birth certificate didn't say, but you never know.
Are you an onion or an ogre? Why do I have to be an ogre as well? Because they were one and the same.
Layers.
It's like, Professor, are you a boy, girl, or onion?
Donkey.
So yeah, Celebi's flying around while they're like kind of floating in the air. Celebi's like, oh shit, Misty, I forgot. Ding! And just like fixes her knee, so that whole
And I'm
plot-
jumping on it.
Yeah.
Look, I'm good, thanks.
No, that's when all the Pokemon start rolling up.
Yeah, and they're like, ooh, what's going on here? Oh, I see the girl can move again. All right, cool.
Gang forgets that they can't breathe underwater.
Yeah.
It's great.
How the fuck do you forget? Like,
Yeah, they're just like,
Celebi, they go swimming underneath, and then Celebi's like, this is great. And Ash and Sam are just like, this is, fuck. And then Celebi's like, I got him. And just like launches
holds
him
him
out
underwater.
the
The bubble stop.
So Celebi's like, thank you for saving me. Let me show you one of my favorite places. They go further into the forest. They find a bunch of trees with berries hanging on them. And then Celebi just goes like 5 times.
There's no Meowth. There's no Meowth to
Time
translate. There's no Meowth to translate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's off doing his thing. While they're eating the berries, the Iron Mask Marauder is still marching around with this giant Dark-type Metagross while he's just like, yeah, I don't want just sit there and be quiet. We're going to go find the Celebi. Team Rocket's like, I'm hungry. Look at the peach, which was a fun thing you mentioned in 2000, how like we didn't have berries and shit yet. So like there were actual food and fruit and things in this universe.
Yeah.
So instead, because when we saw it, Ken and I went, oh, a Pecha berry. And they go, oh, a peach. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah. And
okay.
like the red berries are clearly just cherry berries.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
singular, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, they look like the berries.
Right.
It's a strong ass peach, by the way.
Yeah.
So it knocks the whole team out of the tree. And
Yeah.
like, I think at that point, I was like, they could have just got, maybe it was Kurt. One of you was like, they could just get another one. But
Yeah.
they're like, well, we knocked the peach
Yeah,
down.
it was me because I'm like, you see them, it's flourishing with all this fruit, and they're just like this one berry. We couldn't get this one berry. We gotta go back. It's like there's like 20,000 other ones. Like,
But the Iron Master Marauder just keeps marching on. He's like, I gotta find these Pokemon. I gotta find the Celebi. I gotta find these fucking kids. We gotta keep going.
ain't no time to eat.
Cut to we have Ash, the gang, all taking a nice little sleepy sleep. We got a little
bread.
cuddle scene of Celebi and Pikachu just like sleeping, which becomes important. But we see Sam is like, I'm too tired to be sleepy. So he's drawing fucking Pikachu and Celebi sleeping. Kind of creepy if you think about it.
Oh, you know what? I bet Sam's last name's Ketchum. A theory, guys.
That's his dad!
Guys, here's the
I
theory.
said that too.
Here's the theory. My theory is that Sam's is dad of Tracy. I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm being stupid. I'm being stupid. I'm sorry.
Sam's last name is Snap. Todd Snap's dad.
Confirm.
Done.
I thought it was McFly.
Ha.
All right,
Todd
get out.
McFly.
Marty McFly.
Get out. Get out. I hate Back to the Future.
Thank you guys for watching. So yeah, Ash wakes up and he's like, what are you doing, bro? He's like, I'm just drawing Pokemon. You're really good. And then Ash makes this like dumbass, idiotic statement like, man, the sky's beautiful. I'd hate to be like you and not be able to go home. I was just like, what? What?
I can't help but think about the future. I don't want to be stuck in it like you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, it's okay. It happens. Do you want some of my bread? So
Yeah.
they split the technically 40-year-old bread, but actually only a day-year-old bread because time travel's a thing.
He ate 40-year-old bread a day later.
Yeah, it was like fresh as
So
fuck.
imagine that lady's like this. Like she was sleeping, somebody
Somebody
he
ate
split
my bread.
the bread, she went,
My bread.
Time
she's just
travel.
looking at the stars like,
I made that with peaches.
It's It's my special Pecha Berry recipe, but I can't tell the world about it yet.
It's the Krabby Patty.
Then Gen 3 releases, and she's like, they know!
So then Pikachu and Celebi wake up, just like, oh shit, our trainers / friends are acting a fool with eating bread. And they go into the forest and see a nice little like ceremony of metapods evolving into Butterfrees and taking off. They're like, don't worry, Sam, we're gonna, what is it, like, we're gonna save you, we're gonna get you home or something like that. Some kind of promise.
Something about
We'll
home.
find a way to take you back, or something like that.
Some type of love story between
Yeah.
Ash and Sam.
Yeah,
At which point I was like, wait, so they're gonna find a way to time travel?
absolutely.
I know this big dinosaur, his name's Dialga. I'm gonna see what he can do.
I just
That
I
was
gotta
a joke.
talk
I
to the big
don't-
boss.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't understand. They have Celebi with them this entire time. Why aren't they just like, oh, Celebi,
Celebi,
can
you
you
should
take
work
Sam
on it."
back to his whole...
He probably doesn't speak English.
You're right.
So-
But the thing is, realistically, it is a plot hole because
It's also a psychic type.
there's the. I guess unless you're saying at the end the thing that causes Celebi to then go back with Sam. Spoilers, I guess. Like, was that the strength it needed to do it? You know? Maybe we should talk about it when we get to it. But I don't know.
I
Use
imagine
your
that
rubber time,
Celebi
Celebi,
say,
do
I
it."
gotta talk to the big boss. Yaga.
Yeah, I got it.
Celebi uses roar time.
It's an Italian.
So this next thing happens so fucking fast.
Yeah.
The whole gang wakes up.
You mean it goes from middle of the night to morning?
Yeah.
Like that?
Instantly.
No, I'm not talking about that. It's like Ash is like, it's the middle of the night, and then they climb the trees, and then it's
Yeah.
just sunrise. I'm like,
Yeah.
Dude, they did a Jurassic Park with the I think it was the Brachiosauruses. When like the one kid just gets fucking sneezed on him in the movie, they did like that whole scene where they're seeing the Butterfree just flying out, and they're like, oh, this is really nice. It's like cool, a nice bromance moment. Where you go from here?
Yeah, so Iron Mask Marauder catches them as they wake up. It literally like big claw, grabs Celebi, shock it, throw it, dark ball.
Which, like, why do you
Got
have
it.
to throw it?
Yeah.
Why? It was such an easier target to just leave it in the claw and throw the dark
because
ball.
he got a style on them.
Exactly. Go.
That's
Dark ball.
That's the
And
whole
then-
part of being evil is you got a style on
If
them.
you're a villain and you don't have the finesse to be the villain, you can't be a villain.
And my favorite part is Homeboy has 100% catch rate balls. He doesn't wait for it to wiggle. Like, that shit hits, and he's like, all right, it's mine. It's my done.
Dark ball. And it
Yeah.
just keeps him on his chest.
Yeah.
Which also, I want to know the process of like how fast this ball like awakens this dark energy that
He
is
immediately
just
releases it.
dormant in Pokemon.
So I've
that
had
is
the
just
image I've
instant.
had.
It's as immediate as his catch rate.
Exactly.
You remember Infinity War when Doctor Strange is just like tied up in the ship with all those needles
Right.
and shit? I imagine it's just like catch it, Tyranitar, and just injects it with evil juice. And then like, all right, cool,
Evil
you're
juice.
done.
Can you imagine if it was like slowly you become evil? So like you're Celebi and then you're drinking something.
Real quick, can you
Celebi's,
pick up Frozen
Celebi's
shit
just like
somewhere?
Celebi's
Hey,
just like doing the cat
Frozen.
thing, where it just starts going like. Celebi, damn it! Now you got juice all over the fucking floor. Come on! I turned you evil, not a dick.
That's great. But yeah, so Mass Marauder here is just like, I've got Celebi, I'm the best. And then the Pidgeys are just like, you fucking bitch! And just fly in and start stabbing
I
them.
want to create a meme of all the Pidgeys just surrounding this dude. Because I think it could be so memeable.
If someone has an opinion, just internet warriors.
Exactly.
You should put the picture. It says me, and then all the pages says that gaming, like everything that takes your money away.
What we could use it for is just like pineapple belongs on pizza.
Which it
Just
does. It
Bane.
does.
Cream soda sucks.
Pineapple belongs on pizza.
Exactly.
Pineapple belongs on pizza. Just saying. That's factual.
It's a suitable topic, but it doesn't belong on
It
pizza.
belongs on pizza.
And that's where we'll end.
All right.
So yeah, Ash takes this moment of the Pidgeys attacking to climb up and just start getting all elbowy and pushy with the Iron Marauder. Trying
Things
to
that he's
save
been
it.
trying to do for the last
The whole
like
time.
couple movies and just has not been
He
successful
could
with.
punch Celebi. I don't think
Yes.
Celebi's that
Well,
weak.
don't worry, that's coming up.
In 17 points.
Against, I lost my place. Got a
It's like,
thing.
I'm
catch
sick of
Celebi.
Pokemon battles.
Ash climbs to save Celebi.
Yeah, so Ash climbs to save Celebi. All the Pokemon in the forest are gathering like, hey, that's our voice of the forest. Don't fucking touch him. And he's like, yeah, well, fuck you. Come on out. And then Celebi uses one of its many sound type abilities to just launch all the Pokemon away. And then just starts creating this tornado of twigs and a Jessie, and just starts building this ball that now is like steamrolling through the forest, collecting more and more branches and twigs.
Katamari Damacy.
Exactly. Celebi is Katamari.
Greymon.
Confirmed.
Greymon virus type.
This whole time, we're watching this, and Kanai's like, it looks like a Digimon, but which one?
I literally took 15 minutes to go on Google, and I was like, evil Digimon. It looks like one of these motherfuckers. And then I finally was like, kind of looks like Greymon with wings. And then I pull up Greymon virus, and I'm like, its cape hat is basically wings. Yep, there it is. Boom. Greymon virus type.
So yeah, as you're chasing this down, Marauders telling Celebi to use all its powers, makes the giant monster. The townspeople are like, oh shit, something's going on, we better get out there and help, which they don't really do too much anyway. But neither here nor there. Celebi takes this dome thing, converts it into the giant bug, wasp, mantis, Digimon, Greymon.
Who should have been a Pokemon. That would have been dope.
It would have been really cool.
If it was like a Pokemon that, like, in the future, it would have been like a mythical or like something related to Celebi in some way, shape, or form.
Because I think Chris is the one that made the comment when it started to grow. He's like, if it's just a giant Celebi.
I thought it was going to be a Scyther the first time that I...
Right, because it has like the claws and the pinchers or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it would have been cool. I don't know what Pokemon it would have been.
Could have been a form, and nowadays it would have been just a form change for Celebi.
Oh, if they ever do like a G-Max or a Mega,
That'd be a drastic one.
So, you know, actually make Celebi usable again. So
damn.
Or at all, ever.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, I think we made the joke while we were recording. Like he's like, I have Celebi. I'm the strongest.
Yeah,
like,
I made the joke.
First time
Too
anyone
bad
ever said that.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Fuck Chris.
There's a first time.
Chris roasts this man and
does-
Celebi at the same time.
He does say Celebi is like the most powerful Pokemon, and I was like, you're working for Giovanni. Debatable, because that man made Mewtwo.
That's
And
what I said. Like, did he learn nothing from Mewtwo?
Yeah.
I was just like, there's got to be people talking about it. I know that the first movie wiped up to a certain point, but Giovanni still knows about that Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like,
So does Gary. Gary got his ass cheeks clapped.
Cheeks clapped, and he never lost his memory.
Yeah, and I love in the show, because in the show, Gary like walks up to Ash, he's like, don't do it, Ash, she fucked me up. I don't know what the fuck that thing was, but it was a monster. It fucked me up. And Ash is like, I got Pikachu. Fuck monsters. I'm 10.
10. So Marauders monologuing at this point. He's just like, Jessie. She's like, well, I could put in a good word for you with Giovanni. Like she has some kind of power. And he's just like,
guy truly shows how evil he is by saying,
yeah, he's just like, that doesn't matter. I have Celebi. I'm now stronger than Giovanni. He'll work under me. And then I think they do the transformation.
Yeah.
But,
Which I like how quickly she reached the negotiation phase
Yeah.
of trying to get the fuck out of there.
we probably should mention Jessie's hanging upside down inside of this
Inside
giant
the
thing
monster, yeah.
with such a short skirt. I'm just saying.
Which is funny because she like the opening is for the mouth.
Yeah.
Right? And you see it, and then later on you see Jessie through the opening, but it's on the fucking hand.
Yeah.
And I was like,
She's just
Something got
periodically just
Yeah.
moving all around.
I'm just imagining how scary it was. Like she was at the core of it, and then as it shifted into a monster, like she traveled somewhere. I'm
Yeah.
sure that was probably scary as fuck.
yeah, my favorite is that they're like, branches, branches, branches. What else could be in this fucking monster? Jessie.
Yes.
Because why not?
She's the heart. She's the thing.
Yeah.
We need people like outside of Celebi to care about this monster being a thing. How do we do it? People like Jessie, throw her in there.
Yeah.
So the gang takes chase. They hop in their flying Ash's dad's boat and start chasing after. And Celebi's like, "Get the fuck out of the sky!" They take like one blast at it and like knock out one of its balloon blimp things, and it slowly drifts into the water, which is too inaccurate of an opportunity to shoot it. So as soon as they touch down, Celebi's like, "Hyper beam!"
I'm telling you, dude, it was a big brain because it was like, it could just start falling real fast. I might miss, but the minute it lands, it's stationary for a second. Yeah, and that shit, not even a half a second passes. It says, like it just immediate.
Yeah. So Ash is like, "Time to fight." Thunderbolt does nothing, and then Iron Mask was like, "Hey, kill these kids." And as Celebi goes to just put him out of existence, you know what? I did miss the point. This is what I want to make sure I mention about the charger thing I mentioned last episode. So right before this all happens, we do have like that moment of Suicune like standing on the mountain and then starts hopping
Yeah.
down, where they give you the reminder that someone's coming to save the day.
Yeah.
Which I think ruins this moment of Suicune actually saving the day.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Versus like Charizard, they tell you at the very beginning, close to the beginning, hey, something's coming.
Yeah, could you imagine if that hand went to go like crush them and just fucking ice beam like shh,
Or
and
anything.
then Suicune just fucking
Or-
shatters it? That'd be dope.
Or like as the boat touched down, they see the beam coming. They know they can't get out, and then Suicune just like does something.
And
that
they
just-
do that mainly because like the marketing point was that Suicune's in it.
Yeah.
Sure.
So like
100%.
he's in the cover art, so you can't put him in the cover art, so you can't sell the movie properly.
Yeah.
Because I do agree that like in both movies they didn't have to show neither of those Pokemon, and they did it just because they have to sell the movie.
Yeah, I get it. And I think
It's shitty.
the energy that I got from Charizard showing up, like right before Ash is about to just die, Charizard saves the day. But it's like if you didn't think about that the entire time of the Charizard Valley, I at least for me, it's like shit, that was a moment. Versus like maybe 30 seconds before this happened, maybe a minute, I don't know. We see that repeated scene that's now in like every Pokemon movie as they do in the world of Pokemon of Suicune jumping around and dashing.
Which it could have easily been remedied by when the grass orb,
Yeah.
Suicune could have been in the distance being like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like,
Anything, I think, as long as they showed Suicune once in the movie, even just to reveal at the beginning of, hey, oh, we saw this thing, I don't know what it is. And then as they're about to get smolderized, Suicune saves the day. I think it was too much of a on the nose, let me tell you what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Suicune's rushing into battle. Oh, and now it happened.
Because I think from like at least like a film perspective, it's like the whole thing of like don't include a like I think it's either Chevik's gun or Alekine's.
I think it's Alekine's.
Yeah, because like the whole thing is like, if you're gonna have a gun in the scene before and you're not gonna use it in the future, don't add it at all because it's a detail that's not needed. So there was probably like somebody that like was like watching over the film and they're like, you didn't even add Charizard, and there was like you just added him just because. So they were probably looking at it to correct it, which, again, like you said, takes away from like the hype of, like you could have showed it earlier and that's fine, but don't show it like descending to be like, I have to go.
Yeah.
We know in this moment it's on its way.
Right.
Which is,
So then like the stakes are gone and that's like, we already know what's going to happen. So like what you're building up to isn't going to be met because it's gone because of something from before.
So Suicune comes in, saves the day, takes the team and says, I'll ride my back and whatever, we'll be fine. And then Iron Master Runner's like, nah, let's stop this shit. Tyranitar, Hyper Beam over and over and over and over again. So it's Suicune and Tyranitar fighting it out, and Brox is like, I need a distraction. Onyx, go! Who just pops out the Pokeball and just lands on
I love this.
Tyranitar.
I was like, so part of me was just like, why are people with heavy Pokemon not just constantly doing this?
Yeah.
It's just dropping their Pokemon on other Pokemon.
Make the most sense.
Game
But-
Freak, new feature in future games. You get to choose where you toss your Pokemon.
Yeah,
Because it's just
Make
just
Pokemon
like,
attack
can
the
you,
grid battle
can you
system.
imagine? Can you imagine not saying the Pokemon's name and just using that as a strategy? Because nobody knows what's in your Pokeball.
Go!
Just be like, here we go.
Or
Rip
just-
Onyx.
More nicknames.
More nicknames.
Yeah, like Shell Shocker. Yeah.
Danny goes, go, Smallums, and a fucking Aggron just falls off.
Go, Machamps.com!
That works until your opponent uses high jump kick or like uppercut. He's like, oh, Geodude, and then you're like,
You just launch that Geodude into space.
You
Just
you don't give them the opportunity, because by written rule, nobody attacks while a Pokemon is being summoned. So
yeah, but they also don't throw Pokeballs out. Like, you don't throw your Pokemon on the space for your opponent.
Listen, Pokemon could be something that it's not.
Unless you're using a Wailord.
You don't have
Then,
to.
yeah, you'll have it. Yeah.
You imagine
Like
if that was an
Continental
ability,
Long.
if you let out a water type in like a water arena, like it wouldn't be splash because splash is a thing, but it'd be like splash damage, or like I don't know. Just thinking out loud.
you get a free move on switching. That'd be busted.
It would.
And only on water.
Right. If you're in a volcano, you throw out Magmar, you burn the other Pokemon. There you go.
I'm just saying,
Balance
if
it
you
out.
go against Maxie and you have a Sharpedo with you and you tell it to use Dive while you're in lava,
It's
I may
dead.
have done it.
Use dives underwater. Sharpedo fainted.
So while Onyx and Tyranitar are fighting it out, Suicune's like, I'm gonna escape, I'm gonna climb this monster. And they're like, Celebi, we need your help. And Celebi's like, yeah, how about you fucking stop? And just like kind of rubs him off the shoulder, which pushes him back into the fight with Tyranitar. So Suicune uses Bubble Beam to just like daze this fucking thing. After he does like a Reptar like, yeah, like charge at him.
I love that point in the movie because Danny goes, "Look at this little bitch," and he's like, "Ah!" And he just starts running through the water.
So yeah, they bubble beam, which like dazes Tyranitar, and then Onyx is like, "This is my time." Uses any energy it has left, and just bop, and sends Tyranitar flying. It just goes flying out over the lake and just disappears into the water. Which Chris is like,
It's dead.
Tyranitar died.
I said the same thing.
That was like a 20-minute meme. We were just like, yeah, at one point that lake's gonna get drained and there's gonna be a Tyranitar skeleton at the
We
bottom.
made the joke about being the sea of life, which
Yeah.
purified the lake of life, which purified and took out the evil, but then it drowned. So
Yeah,
it just
yeah, it's like, oh, thank God I'm safe. It just like drowns.
I don't know. Onyx needed that win though.
You just hear that like
After
dun dun
getting-
dun 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 dun. You just hear like the Sonic.
After
drowning
getting
music.
bodied by Fampy, it needed that win.
And then Onyx is like, all right, cool, I'm done. Jesus. So yeah, they're like, let's try and save Celebi again. They climb the big monster just to piss it off. Celebi's like, no, you need to stop. And they like catch it with the better frenzy plant.
Yeah.
And just start like squeezing and electrocuting it with this like black magic lightning something or other. I don't know what to even call it.
Evil grass lightning.
But Ash and Sam use this to like, sorry, Suicune, you hang here. We're gonna go try and get Celebi. So they start climbing to the monster. They're climbing up its throat or something, and they're sitting there like, Celebi, stop! I need you to remember it's me, Sam, and Ash. And now we're back to the fun game of if Ash punched this one. So imagine Celebi sitting there, dead eye, like, what's gonna happen? And Ash is like, yo, Celebi, stop! Like.
I honestly wish it would have happened.
Bro, you got
Where
scary close to Dante's
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, you got really close to Dante's face.
can you imagine they try to go in there once, it electrocutes them like before. Ash is like, okay, listen here, you little shit. Just punches them back.
I can't possibly miss.
it's a very Who Framed Roger Rabbit approach to that.
Celebi's just like, ow, motherfucker, that hurt, and just brings up the big, like, twig claw, just
gets him out of
Punches
the
himself, and then it knocks out. Yeah,
roll
boom.
credits.
Roll credits. I think it still would have turned out bad for Ash.
100%.
But
But it would have saved the day.
it would have
Oh, here it is.
been great.
What
The fucking Pokemon that show up.
So all the Pokemon reassemble, trying to break through to Celebi as Ash and Sam do their fun little, hey, stop, I love you, hug me, absorb all the damage that you're outputting.
We see half a Rhydon. We see all these other random bitches, and then you see a Pidgey that goes, Pidgeot! Pidgeot!
Yeah, we see all the Pokemon conglomerate around the lake, being like, I wish we could, just like in 2000, where it's like, I'm getting as close as I can to help, but there's really nothing I can do. And Kanai points out, yeah, there's like a tree scene, we see a bunch of Pidgey landing, go, Pidgey, Pidgey. And then as these Mankey climb in, one of the Pidgey goes like, Pidgeot! It's just like, sorry, I'm mature. Mentally, I'm more mature than I am physically.
I'm evolving after this.
I have evolved mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah, as they're like fighting Celebi's strength, this monster starts to like kind of collapse and like fall into the water. And then Ash, Sam, Pikachu are like, we got it, boom. And Celebi fixes itself somehow through the power of friendship.
Exactly.
And the dark ball that the Iron Marauders holding just like vanishes. Like, oh, Celebi did it, we're safe. And as it all crashes down, Celebi's like dying. Celebi's like using all of its energy. Looks like a rotten onion.
Yeah.
Like I had to ask him, like, do onions rot? Is there another
Yes.
word you use for an onion?
No, they
Is
get
it just-
bushy.
They wither.
They wither.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know what word to use. I put a rotten onion, but I didn't know.
Really hard to get rotten onion because they just fucking grow.
Yeah, because
Wither.
rotten seemed like a fruit word. I didn't know if it was a vegetable word. So I was
Wither.
like, well, there you go.
Much
Wither
like the skeletons
with
in
something.
Minecraft.
But this is the part I remembered.
Yeah.
Like, I remembered Celebi dying.
Yeah.
And, like, when people were like, what's your favorite movie? I was like, 4, because a Pokemon fucking dies.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
There's
So
other movies where they die. I don't know if you've just not seen them or.
when I watched this movie,
Maybe not.
Okay.
when I watched this
Yeah,
movie
maybe
the
not.
first time, I watched it and I loved it, and then I went a bunch of years without watching it, and then I watched the one after this one. Do you guys know which one that is?
Pokemon Heroes.
Do you know what the plot for that is?
The Latias, Latios, Soldew.
What's the movie after that?
After that would be Jirachi Wishmaker.
And then,
And then Destiny Deoxys.
what's the
No,
Primal
we're missing-
Groudon one?
We're missing
That's
a movie.
Jirachi.
Okay.
Are we?
I think we're missing a movie
Are we?
because I'm very positive that. Here, keep going, and I'll figure
Yeah.
it out. 'Cause I want to use my phone for using the phone to record, so I can't look
Yeah,
it up.
someone just pull up the list of the movies that came out. I'm not sure. I might be missing something.
I confused this movie with one that had Mewtwo in it,
Okay.
and I remember vividly.
There is Mewtwo Returns.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I
Which is
remember.
like, it doesn't exist as it's on DVD.
It's a
but
special.
If you look up Mewtwo Returns, it's like it doesn't exist. as
So
like
I
a
remember
film,
there
a
being a
viewable
scene
film.
of Mewtwo and Celebi after I watched this movie.
Uh-huh.
So I went to watch it again, and I was like, when does Mewtwo come into play?
Yeah.
So I like literally watched the whole movie, and I'm like to myself, I'm like, okay,
My
something's
childhood's
not
been a
right.
lie.
So
It's like me with the fucking ancient
yeah.
ball. Where I
So
was
this
like,
whole
yeah!
time, all these years, I've been thinking like Mewtwo's in this movie because I remember they're carrying him, they dunk him into the lake.
Yeah.
So he can purifies the lake. I watched this movie, and I was like, Mewtwo's not in this movie, but they use the same lake. And then I
Yeah.
watched this movie, and I was like, wait, maybe I'm confusing it with another movie?
Oh, yeah, because Mewtwo gets like electrocuted in return. And again, we're not
Yeah, he
watching
just-
that one because he can't find it.
He got fucked up, and then I
They
remember
throw
Ash,
it in the water.
Brock's the one
which-
carrying him, because I always make the joke that Brock could just grab a Pokeball.
Yeah.
But like, they run, and they toss him into the water to heal him, and they use the same lake. And I was like, where? So I'm watching the movie, and I'm looking at how much time is left. I'm like, wow,
When does this happen?
when does Mewtwo come in? Like, I feel
Yeah.
like he could have helped so much by now.
No, last 5 minutes.
Gotcha. No, I see what you're talking. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, big monster crashes. Celebi's a rotten onion. So they're like, hold on, we got this. Just put him back in the lake of life. So they start dunking this baby, and it's like, nothing happening. Now Ash is like, don't worry, I'm gonna shove berries in its mouth. So he's like sitting there, just like, come here, baby. Oh, I got another one.
That one wasn't good enough. I get it.
It's Mewtwo Returns.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's play. What happens if Ash punches it?
Celebi, what the fuck?
New video idea. We make a video, and we go through every single Pokemon whether Ash can beat it in a fight.
That could be a whole fucking. We got
Series.
1,000 Pokemon to go.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's just do them generation at a time. But yeah, so now Celebi's like dying. Everyone's starting to cry. Sam has the biggest reaction, like, "Oh, Celebi's gonna die!" And then
I said die in a 4Kids movie.
they did, which felt interesting hearing it last night because in my head I'm like, Celebi's dying, but they're not gonna say it. And then when I hear Sam go, Celebi's gonna die, I'm like,
The stakes. They've been raised.
huh? They said it.
Actual murder.
Somebody gave this cut of beef a raise. Stakes have been raised.
So all of a sudden, as everybody's crying, we have that same magical tear work from humans from the first movie when it's like, wait a minute, something's happening, and a wormhole starts to open in the sky, and Grandma goes, time travel! And then,
Again, she's sleeping, and she's
the bread!
The voice of the forest.
I
Time
can
travel.
imagine at that point she probably like took a step outside after having a panic attack from the previous day. Just looks up at. Nope.
I
Not
can't
again.
listen.
To be fair, she is there.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
she is there.
yes. So Diane, Grandma, and Dad are there,
Yeah.
just functionally doing nothing.
I fucking knew it.
But yeah, as this wormhole opens up, we have like a flock of Celebi just come flying out, and they're like, magic, and they start sprinkling the fairy dust on our original Celebi to bring it back to life.
When I was a kid, I was like, oh damn, they're angels. Like they're coming to take, they're all the dead Celebi of the past coming to
Yeah.
take him to heaven. I was like, oh god, what happened in this movie?
I think I made the point where I was like, I remember as a kid, I didn't quite understand what happened. I'm like, there's still no explanation.
Yeah.
Who are the Celebi?
Yeah, it's
like,
not-
Are they just every Celebi to ever exist?
So
Yeah.
here's what I
Time
think
travel?
it is. So I love time travel movies
think it's
and
like
stuff like that.
timelines.
And I think it's just Celebi from different timelines.
Because that's a joke we made. We're like, Endgame. Oh.
Because there's different types of time travel.
Infinity Stones.
There's different types of time travel, and one of the most common ones are when two versions of yourself can't meet.
Yeah.
Like there's an actual force field that keeps you, which is called I think it's called stable time traveling or something like that. Essentially, you can't mess with anything that has to do with you. And then you have paradox time traveling, which
If you do, you just end the universe.
yeah.
Nice.
And then you have what this is, which are it's more of a free roam. But you can do whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't really affect the past. It affects the
Okay.
future, but it doesn't because they already happened. So it's in theory, all these Celebi's might be the same one.
I was
That makes
I was
sense.
curious on that because I personally hate time travel mechanics.
Yeah.
Because most of the time when
They
movies
do it
do
wrong.
it, when movies do it, they
a cop
fuck it
out.
up.
Yeah, they do
Or
it
to
wrong.
cop out.
Yeah.
That's
So-
why I like time travel, because like if you get a good
was-
time travel show, it's good. But then they can.
So part of me was wondering when this happened is like, okay, are all of these Celebes just guardians of their own specific time periods? Or are all these Celebes technically the same Celebi and they're reviving
They're
themselves?
all the voice of the forest.
So like,
all-
and
it's
then
just a
and then
bunch of
at that point, if they're all like individual Celebes that protect over certain portions of time, why did this Celebi go to the future and hasn't gone back yet?
It didn't know how.
I didn't know.
I just like to imagine as all these cells, every time one enters from the wormhole, there's an old lady going, "Is that time travel?" Just in another multiverse somewhere.
But
I think I said this before. Is that time travel?
By the way, intriguingly, that wormhole reminds me of the Ultra wormhole.
Yeah.
It's not exactly the same,
see.
but when all the Celebes went back into it, I was like, huh.
Well, there's a theory. There's a popular theory that puts
Celebies
Celebi
and Ultra
among
Beasts.
with the other mythicals that are Ultra Beasts. I forgot what the other Pokemon, but Celebi was one. It's 5 of them, and Celebi's one.
It'd be what? Mew, Celebi.
That's not me. It's
No.
Celebi,
Victini?
Victini,
Manaphy?
Jirachi. Because some of these Pokemon are too like they don't fit within
Celestial,
the
weird.
lore of not our but the Pokemon world. So some people are saying that there might have been Ultra Beasts that came here, and we are just calling them Pokemon because that's all we know
Yeah.
in this world.
It's a
just
creature,
like if
so
a
it's Pokemon.
like a if Mandy Bus. Buswall were to come here and nobody saw him come from an Ultra Hall, you're just gonna assume that
It's
it's
a
a Pokemon. So
I got you. I feel that. But yeah, the Celebes use their magic power. We made the joke that this is how Endgame should have ended.
I agree.
Where like Iron Man's like, spoilers for Endgame. Iron Man's just like, I'm gonna die, and then a wormhole opens up, and we have every Iron Man from Multiverse just like pick him up and be like, see ya, and then
Or a gel.
they play Black Sabbath and just fly away.
Arby's.
Arby's.
We are Iron Man.
Look at the belt! Look at the head! Look at his face! Arby's.
So yeah, they use time travel to fix Celebi. Everything's okay. They do another little fly around. Celebi all go home. But it still doesn't really make sense. I made that point here. But Celebi's like, yes, I'm alive. It does the flying over the water, running its hands through, diving. This can't possibly go bad. And then all of a sudden, Iron Marauder's like, sup, bitch? And just
Chokes him.
pops out of the water after being down
Yeah,
there for
it
maybe
is-
like 5 to 6
It
minutes.
is one hand. He is like half Nelsoning him with his fucking haze, just like, like one like finger underneath one of his little hands and the thumb around his neck, little hand free, and he's just like, yeah, like he is just strangling the fuck out of this Celebi.
Part of me tried to find this not hilarious this entire, like the last little bit. Like I know as a kid when I was watching this, I was probably like, but when I was watching, I was just like,
That's lame.
wait, the fuck? Do we really need to bring him back? Like,
We have to. Otherwise, we don't get to finish the movie the way we do. But he's like, all right, see ya. Pops out his jetpack. Ash is like, nah, I don't think so. Grabs his legs. As they're flying away, this dude is just knocking
Kicking
Ash's
it
teeth
into-
out.
yeah.
Get the fuck off
He
of
is
me,
stomping on the part of Ash's back where Pikachu is, so he's just like slamming a fucking electric mouse into Ash's back.
kid. So Ash like climbs on the back, like Pikachu Thunderball breaks the jetpack, and they all go flying down. Marauder just starts hitting every fucking tree on the way.
Yep, Celebi
Ash
makes a
catches
choice.
Pikachu, and Celebi's like, I gotcha. And they do the fun flying thing again because, you know, why do it only once? As the Marauder's like crashing through trees, his helmet falls off. We see his face. It's not important, but we see it. And then we have the 3 useless people, Grandma, Diane, and Dad.
Boatman.
just magically teleport to where he is.
There's like, what's up? And then every Pokemon's like, oh, it's about to get fucking real. And then a bunch of Caterpie and shit just web them up.
Yeah,
Time for-
Caterpie, not
Jail?
Ariados. What's the Spinnerack?
Spinnerack.
Yeah, no pumpkins in this one, Papa. You're not watching this. I guarantee it. So yeah, fly away. All the Pokemon are mad. These Pokemon are missing. Yes, so now the Iron Marauder's lost all his Pokemon. He goes to fight, but he's like, oh no, Scizor, Sneasel, Tyranitar, shit, they're all
They're
gone.
all gone, yeah.
That Tyranitar is dead. By the way, for the record, that Tyranitar has not been shown to come up out of water yet.
Yeah.
Since, yeah.
It's been
that
underwater
thing,
for
once
like
that
10
thing got
minutes.
fucking knocked in there, he's
Yep,
been
he
down
dead.
there.
Now that everybody's alive and well and the Marauder's been captured, Suicune's like, all right, cool, I'm out, thanks. Just stay out of trouble, would you? So Celebi's like, cool. Hey, by the way, Sam, do you want to go home? So, well, actually, Celebi flies around, glows green, and goes, beep, 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 beep. And then Grandma goes, I think it wants to take you home.
Time travel.
Because she just knows the voice of the forest.
Yeah. She had to become fluent so she didn't get fucking sucked in by
it must not be hard, because every time Celebi talks, it's just always about time travel.
Yeah.
Time travel. But yeah, Sam's like, Ash, I love you, buddy. Fist, chest pump. Take care. They fly away. Everyone starts bawling for this kid we've known for a day. So the gang's like, Professor Oak, we had this cool stuff happen. Ash is looking all down in the dumps. Professor Oak's like, what's going on, Ash? Like, why are you so down? He's like, I met this kid and I just don't think I'm ever going to see him again. And Professor Oak's like, don't worry. I'm sure you'll meet Sammy again someday. And they're like, all right, cool. We got to catch a boat to, again, somewhere we didn't mention. And as they hang out, Missy's like, wait a second.
How does he know about Sam?
Yeah, how's he know Sam's name? And then the boat goes, toot, like, shit, we gotta go. And then we cut back to Oak, and he's like, remember it like it's yesterday. And then just pulls open the sketchbook.
Cue me saying, you son of a
This
bitch.
is so great. Chris's moment, as they're on the phone talking to Professor Oak, and Chris made the comment, he's like, hey, it's me, I'm Sammy. And I think he didn't even realize it. And I'm sitting there with this smirk on my face. And as Oak pulls out the sketchbook, Chris goes, yeah, you son of a bitch.
Literally, at the beginning of the movie, he pops up, he goes, my name's Sam. I was like, Sam, Samuel Oak. And Chris just goes, ha. End of the movie, and then cue the open of the sketchbook, and you just hear, wait, the fuck? No, you son of a bitch. Love it.
It was
Love
great.
it.
It's a cool twist.
Yeah, I think it was fun. I remember not getting it as a kid. I was like, why does Professor Oak have Sam's sketchbook? And it was
That's what I remember,
Not
too.
clicking in my head that Professor Oak's name is Sam.
Yeah.
Just never-
So
and
the
then
only
later
reason I got
understood.
that is because I watched this. I told you the story, but this movie always has a special spot. I don't know why. This might be trauma related, but I won
I hated time travel.
Student of the Month in the school that I was at, and whoever won Student of the Month got to choose what movie, and everybody wanted to watch Dragon Ball Z.
Evolution?
No. This is way earlier than that. Everybody wanted to watch Dragon Ball Z or a Digimon movie, and I remember let's watch the Pokemon movie, and I felt like
Not that
But
one.
because I was the one that got Student of the Month, we got to
You got
watch
to
it, and our teacher was really into this movie, even though she didn't like Pokemon. And then she explained the ending to everybody, and she's literally explaining what time travel is at the time to a bunch of however old we were
Yeah.
at the time, and everybody's like. So she's like, all right, and then she grabs the chalkboard and she
Fucking
starts
John took
explaining.
notes.
That's awesome.
She starts explaining.
John took notes. He was like, all right, paradox theory. All right.
So she starts talking about time travel, and again, we're all kids, so we don't know what the fuck this is. And she explains it, and then she helped explain the ending of this movie. So I remember this movie because of that. Because
Yeah.
it was
That's actually really cool.
I also have one thing that can destroy this whole movie, though.
Celebi could have died.
No, it has nothing to do with Sally. It's Professor Oak. When Ash went to Johto, Professor Oak had no knowledge of any of the Johto Pokemon. Which, if he time traveled, then he should have knowledge of Sneasel, Teddiursa, Ursaring, all those guys, Suicune.
Yeah.
Found-
It's
Pretty
just,
Scyther.
it's just the one thing that
Tyranitar.
I don't like about time travel movies is because you have to keep a whole bunch of things into consideration.
Yeah.
So what happens is that Celebi takes Sam back in time. Sam, being a 10-year-old kid, is smart enough to realize he shouldn't interact with the time girl and just make sure that he's like, hey, here's what happened. I got taken through time by Celebi. Because if he does that, then she now knows that he comes back, which in the beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
she doesn't know.
Yeah.
She's just gone. So you mean to tell me Oak didn't go back through that forest at all? Celebi just dropped him off somewhere and been like, yep, there you go, kid.
Well, because since Celebi plays Captain America, I'm going to put Sam right back where I picked him up.
So that means
And,
that-
I
that
don't know
means-
what happens to the relationship from there. It's like, bye, Sam.
So one problem is that this movie tried doing two different types of time travel, and it didn't work. Because if the story ends with Sam going back in what, 1 day? 2 days?
It would be a day.
Yeah,
One
a
day?
day, yeah.
Then technically she would remember him coming back. So
Unless-
unless she's playing the events like, oh, this has to happen for him to be able to come back. And
You're
so
saying
so
past Grandma.
would know that he will come back.
I
because-
guess it depends if it's again, if it's like Endgame where
Because-
Cap has to drop the stone off where he picked it up. If
At the exact moment.
Sam teleported away.
But the
Yeah.
thing
and
that
Celebi's
counters
just
that
right
is
at this
Professor
moment.
Oak knowing that.
Sure, Professor Oak.
Because if Professor Oak knows that he time traveled, and that basically Ash is Professor Oak's origin story, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Or Celebi. So that means that the grandma knows that he comes back a day later.
Yeah.
So that means that she had to play through the motions
Unless
to
he
make
just
sure
went a
this.
different way.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's what I'm saying.
It depends where he
But the
was
movie,
left off.
but the movie doesn't. The movie focuses on time travel, not like dimension or multiverse.
Well, no. What I'm saying is like if he doesn't go back the way he went into the forest, she might have never seen him again.
If he doesn't, but that's the thing is that we just kind of have to assume
Yeah.
that happens.
Right, he had
but
to because
I don't
Oak
know.
remembers
in,
everything.
In
But
part
Sam
of me
didn't bring the bread back with him, which means there's an anomaly in the time stream.
part of me just makes me think it's just like, okay,
Where's
if I'm
my bread
if I'm a
bread?
10-year-old child and I just went through this amazing story, why would I not go back to the place
And just talk about it?
Talk about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I got it. Yeah,
We-
it's like a plot hole.
That's why I said that like I can destroy this movie with that argument because they try using two different types of time travel and then like giving you an ending that's like oh here's the twist ending. I'm like that means she knows. If Professor Oak knows, then she has to know too. So the only thing that makes sense is that everybody's playing through the motions. Like Professor Oak saying, "Hey, that might have been sweet" or whatever, but not telling you about the entire other part of the because by him telling you, he can ruin the timeline, and then it never took place. So basically, they try grabbing different types and putting it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is ultimately the issue I kind of have with time travel.
Yeah.
Because when you use it, there's a certain rules and laws you have to abide by. Because there's like multiverse, like there's.
Yeah.
Real quick, in
It's-
case you're
it's-
driving and you're on our end, those sirens are over here. They're not. I was listening to last week's podcast on my way here, and there was a siren in the background, and I freaked the fuck out. I'm like, oh, that's in the video. Okay.
So I'm with you. That's why I don't like Back to the Future because Back to the Future is one of the worst time traveling movies I have ever watched. But when it comes to time travel, you have to be very careful with the way that you do your
Just don't make a scene.
your returns. I guess it's
Right.
called whatever you will call that. Whenever like a character, you know.
Right.
So I think that as long as Pokemon did it, and I was like, I hope they don't do this again. I hope they don't do this again. Which is crazy because they have two time travel Pokemon.
So it'll be the
Dialga would be one.
Yeah, so I have two. So
Because how does Hoopa do it?
Hoopa's
Doesn't Hoopa pull them from different like dimensions?
I think it's
or-
Hoopa's dimension.
Hoopa's
Dialga's
dimension.
it's
I think.
dimension,
Okay.
which I think it's easier to pull off than time travel because with time travel everything has to be so linear.
Right.
And
You're
like
just picking it from one box, putting it in another. With
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a fact that they do mix the time travels
Yeah.
for this, which is why I get a little weird with it because, I mean, in theory, as soon as Oak would come back, and this is stuff that they just don't go into, and me probably thinking too much about it, but like if Theory Oak comes back and if he does tell anybody anything, then it creates a parallel universe.
Right.
So the only thing that and I completely agree with that. So Oak, for him, I imagine he's smart enough to know not to do that if he knows what time travel is, because clearly, like the people in that forest fuck heavy with that forest. The only thing that would have made this movie make more sense was if the old lady knew. So as an old lady, she's smiling and she's like, "Oh, everything's gonna be fine. We just gotta work together." Because in her mind, if you go through the motions, then Oak gets back and everything's solved. So like that would have wrapped up the movie really good. So that way it's not like this makes no sense. But if she would have like been smiling or like maybe a mystery, maybe like I guess somebody will show up and help us, and then Suicune shows up, then it will show that she knew about this the whole time and that she's just running through emotions, and that will fix the entire film.
We want to talk about Team Rocket?
Time travel.
Yeah, might as well wrap this up. So, as Kadari gets back in his seat from taking a pissy pot,
Time travel.
Jesse's doing her fun, like, I'm all alone, I'm gonna float down the river, I guess this is where I die. And then Team Rocket's like,
Plot
"Don't you
twist number
worry." James and Meowth like, "Hey, we found you, you're alive." And they're like, "Oh, perfect." And then baby boy Tyranitar, still evil as fuck, just shark fins right through their little makeshift boat and swims off in the distance.
Maybe he
And
wasn't even evil. Maybe he was just like, air! And just fucking.
No longer a timid Tyranitar anymore.
He's a confident
I
child.
didn't know how to break the surface tension of the water. I finally got out.
I mean, to be fair, he's probably really pissed that he's in the water.
Yeah. Brown type.
But
he
he
can
didn't climb
swim.
out though. He just
Can-
kept swimming down the river.
Can Tyranitar learn swim? Does anybody know? I wanted to look that up.
Rhydon couldn't learn surf.
I know,
can't- he
I
can't
know,
learn
I
surf.
know, I know Rhydon can learn surf. Can Tyranitar learn surf?
Probably
I'm
not.
not 100%.
Doubtful.
That just brings up so many
I
questions.
was about to say.
Wikipedia.
And yeah, so then they have their fun moment. Hey, we're better people. This water feels great. And then we see Sizzle and Sneasel walk off into the distance, just going to live their lives, and roll credits. I don't think there's anything important in the credits in this one.
Nope, just walking around,
Yeah,
them
some
leaving the
exploration.
forest town and then walking around.
Perfect. And that was Pokemon Forever, the synopsis.
Can we
that
talk
happened.
about their?
I was
Can we
hoping
talk
that will
about briefly
explode.
though the song at the end? It's not my favorite song, but I like the fact where it's
so
like
I listened to it.
I liked it.
We listened to it last night and we just kind of chilled and listened to it as the credits roll. And I was like, it's a bop because they did a fun thing. And again, didn't know until I was older and understood spelling. But listening to Celebi.
R-A-T.
Celebi,
Yeah.
R-A-T. I don't know what the R-A-T-E means, but Celebi's in the song, so Pokemon. And then I'm like, oh, it's Celebrate. Oh. And then
They were
later
telling you to
go,
rate the movie.
Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. I'm like, it just didn't.
They were
click.
telling you to rate the movie. They were like, go home, get on Yelp, rate the movie, so other people go watch it while it's in theaters, limited time
Celebrate,
release.
R-A-T.
I think it's a neat lyric, but the song doesn't what's it?
Pencil.
Oh yeah, the song doesn't last too. The song lasts way too long.
It does. It's
That's
very
fair.
long.
For credits, I didn't care too much, but
It can learn surf.
It can?
It's Gen 3
Well,
learns.
damn.
Gen 3 learns.
Does he still learn it?
this is
till
Gen
now?
2, sir.
Well, him now.
changer.
Didn't they remove surf out of the game?
No.
No, it's
Surf
not.
is
No,
Surf's
no,
Yeah, no, because Gen 7 he can't.
Oh,
But
Cal's
Gen
gonna
Yeah,
3
surf's not a move anymore, because
It is.
is it
Surf's
still
a move.
functional?
Yeah, it's still a move, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Is it just a TM?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a regular TM.
Well, shit.
They
I was
just
gonna
don't
say,
label them
because
as
if he
HM.
knew surf now, he will wreck the meta.
Yeah, I think the only ones they got rid of were like Rock Climb, which needed to be gone.
Rock climb got.
Defog's still a move,
Yeah,
Defog,
Cut is
yeah.
still one.
Cut kind of sucks.
Cut does suck. Rock Smash is still a movie.
I don't think they have cut anymore.
Huh?
They
No,
don't-
Cut's a move.
Cuts, they still have it? Oh,
I
I
think
don't have
so.
it.
I have no
It's
clue.
just not good.
After doing
I
old
think
ones with Soul Link, I
I
couldn't
feel
tell you
like
which ones
I
exist
feel like
anymore.
Cut actually Cut and Strength may have been removed in Gen 8.
Oh, really?
No, strength's still here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can
Because
tell you,
I give
I've
it,
got
strength's
Cut.
a good move on Beware, because
Yeah.
he gets stabbed.
It gets a little funky with the newer games. Whirlpool's still a move, weirdly enough, even though that was only used in Gen 2.
How about we rank this movie currently? Now, last episode we talked about coming with like a naming scheme or a score thing, but we're recording in the same night, so that shit didn't happen.
He can learn surf till to today.
Really?
Tyranitar can learn surf.
Game
Why are
changer.
people not using him with
I mean, it's not a special attacker.
Yeah, so why are people not using him with Colossal?
Like yeah, that's
Because
true.
that's a lot tankier than a lot of the Pokemon that you would use.
Because Colossal and Tyranitar have a similar typing in Rock.
Because then you can set up Sandstorm to raise your special defense, and then yeah, I'm gonna do that when I get home. I want to try that.
John said, "Thanks,
Tyranitar.
Pokemon Forever. You're my new favorite."
Just
All right.
name him Iron Master Marauder.
So ranking.
Okay, so currently the list is number 1, Pokemon the first movie, number 2, Pokemon 3, and number 3, Pokemon 2000.
We're starting from the bottom.
now we
and then
hear-
kind of putting it up. Or...
What I would probably like to do is just be like, where do you think it belongs? If anyone wants to jump
That's
into it,
fair.
I think it
Okay.
belongs here.
I was gonna say we can also do the thing like, just everybody think that it belongs 1, and then we do voting. But we
Which I'm fine the other way. I'm fine if somebody wants to be like, I think it belongs in number 2. I think it belongs wherever.
okay.
I personally believe it's better than 2000.
Okay.
But I don't think it's better than the third or first movie.
Okay.
The
I think
reason,
I'd agree with that.
my reasoning behind it, I know everybody else here probably watched it together, and you guys felt it was short, and I think you guys were kind of talking with each other
Sure.
about it. I made it a little shorter. To me, it actually feels a little long, and it actually is 10 minutes longer than the rest of the other movies. The reason why I think that is, though, is there's like 2 to 3 scenes that I feel are just kind of fluff. Like that don't really. I don't think we really needed the Iron Mask Marauder to come back.
Yeah.
I also think that the scene with the Metapods and stuff, it didn't really serve anything.
Or the twisted knee.
I mean, or the twisted knee, like
Twisted
it,
T.
it was pretty. It was pretty, but like, how did it help develop the story?
Well, the
Yeah.
Marauder's second
And
part was more to arrest him.
My other,
To, like,
Sure.
Yeah.
Which I feel like they easily could have just been like, Celebi time traveled and he climbs out of the lake and they're just
And
standing there.
my
Like
oth-
the snatching Celebi thing probably didn't need to happen.
yeah, my other issue with the movie is that Suicune serves no purpose in the movie.
He did. He saves Ash.
Saved Ash.
So he
saved-
saves
Yeah,
Ash.
that is saves Ash
Purifying the
and
lake,
is
right?
a just no, but the purifying the lake does nothing. It's just he's
It
just
does.
It
It
does
does
not
because
like which
it does
doesn't.
because it plays into the next movie. of where, or not the next movie, but the Mewtwo Returns, where he does purify that lake, because that lake is.
Well,
super
I don't
fucking red.
have that in mind though.
And the
just,
lore-
just
the lore-
looking at,
We'll say, yeah,
just
'cause
looking
if we're tying in Mewtwo Returns to say that makes this a better movie is.
just looking at this movie alone, Suicune appears.
But I get you.
Saves Ash, which I mean, if you got rid of that situation, it didn't. You can make this entire movie work without Suicune, and that sucks to me, because Suicune comes, purifies the lake, it doesn't heal Celebi,
But that's his
okay?
whole
And then
gimmick
you
as
pull a
well,
Deus Ex Machina and have a whole bunch of Celebes appear out of nowhere, thin air, celestial beings just coming in to save Celebi, where if they would have just fixed it by having Suicune being the thing of, oh now, purified the lakes, Celebi can heal, and now Celebi is powerful enough to time travel back. I don't know.
That's fair. I agree with that, because I think about, because I actually think when it comes to movies that have multiple legendaries, which one, and we'll see as we keep going, because I think of Volcanion.
They all have multiple.
Which main one? Because like when we get to
No, three. Yeah,
Hero, which is Latias, which is kind of just we'll lump them in as one. Jirachi is one where the antagonist becomes Groudon, but Groudon's not your target legendary. Jirachi's the important one.
Yeah.
So yeah, with this where it's like the movie is Celebi's movie and Suicune is very secondary.
I think 2000 just had a better mix of all the legendaries
Yeah,
in there.
they did a balance of all
as
four.
well as even to a degree Mewtwo when it came about with Mew kind of just being a learning point and saying, hey, this is not what life is about.
Yeah.
Sort of situation. I don't know. Like
Or just saying Mew.
everything Suicune did, it just didn't feel like it amounted to much.
That's right. No,
See, for me, it was part of it. It's because they're
I do
trying
think
to.
this is better than the 2000 though.
Okay.
I think part of that is because they're trying to show you like Suicune's entire gimmick is purifying water.
Mm-hmm.
So like, how many times do they actually get the chance to show that off? Apart from like maybe this movie, Strikes Back, and then once in the anime, and you don't see it. You hear about it, but you don't see it.
So where would you argue that this movie goes?
For me, I think it goes second. I think
Above
it beats
3.
2003 for me. It doesn't beat the first one still, because like it's gonna be really hard. I can't wait until I watch the Darkrai one again because that was my overall favorite. But I think one has a message that's too powerful, and I think that the last
For what we've got in these last three.
yeah,
that's
and the
top
last
end.
three's message they're good. They're because they all have messages in them, but I don't think it beats the one. But I think it beats 2000 and definitely 3. Yeah.
Chris, anyone have a
I agree with Dante's.
above 2000, below 3?
Correct, which is weird for me because like I said, as a kid, this was my favorite, and then like kind of rewatching it and going back, like I think it's still my favorite for nostalgia's sake because it does have interesting things. Like it does have Celebi basically almost die, and it has like world building aspects to it, which I like, but there's so many issues with it. Because like Dante pointed out, Suicune didn't really need to be there because I even though I was like, yeah, the purifying the water, he was like, yeah, but that didn't save Celebi in the end. I'm like, shit, yeah, it didn't.
Basically, yeah.
The
Yeah.
story also had a lot of like more human interaction than Pokemon. Like the heroes were Ash and Sam, not
Yeah.
anybody else. Like usually in all the other movies, you had the Pokemon, which were the center point. But to me, rewatching this, I was like, this movie's about Sam and Ash, not Pikachu or Celebi.
Right.
Or it felt like they were the main characters, and all the Pokemons were just tools to help them get to their goal, which was to save Celebi. And then I don't think any of the other movies do this, because usually whatever the flavor of the month Pokemon is for that movie, it's the main character. But in here, the main character is corrupted, and the humans are the ones that stop the.
Yeah, which that also has a point because you see 2 of Ash's Pokemon the entire movie.
Yeah,
You
and
see
one
Bayleef and
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
I don't
That's
think
it.
I don't think the teams were very well utilized.
Yeah,
this
and
time
in
around.
stark contrast to the previous movie, there's like maybe 5 minutes of the movie that's battling. Like there's not a lot. And if it is battling, it's humans against a giant monster.
I think in that, yeah, it's true. Either a giant monster or a giant machine.
Yeah.
So I think that's a fair argument where I would agree with this. Saying
It can
it's
also be
above
that the
2000,
Pokemon are
below
not
3.
strong enough though, because if you're looking at Ash already has, or Brock already has Crobat, then I mean Ash has Totodile, which is not going to do much in this scenario.
Sure.
Cyndaquil, who's definitely not going to do because that was
Sure.
his weakest, and
Probably rocking
Heracross,
Bulbasaur or something.
Heracross, who is not going to do much against a Scyther or a Houndoom. So that's the way I
Body
view
that
that.
Scizor.
That's the only thing that I see why he only used those 2, because everything else would just get bodied.
Sure.
But
you're also arguing against anime logic.
no, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing. I'm actually just pointing out why they might have used two.
That's fine.
No,
But,
but they've used other Pokemon when they shouldn't have. We just came from a movie where it's like, I'm gonna use fire against fire.
Yeah,
But if
they
they did
gave
that-
a reason to show the team. And
But
it
if they
made
did
more
that, it wanted that to take attention from Ash and Oak though, because that to me
Sure.
now that I watched the movie as again, it just feels like they were the main characters the whole time. So like,
Why are you gonna make a Pokemon movie and not have it be about Pokemon?
because the characters,
I
because the
just
characters
watched
are just
Princess
as
Mononoke.
important. The characters are just as important. And I
Chris,
think
do you have
You know the last time that they did this? In Pokemon 2000, where I could give a shit about Ash's journey and being a part of the prophecy.
Yeah, Chris, you have a stance of where you think this goes?
Not really.
No?
Because it was a Pokemon movie to me. Like there's parts of it I enjoyed. There's parts that I was like, all right, I could have.
So you're saying it's
They
less
could've
of a
just
Pokemon
taken-
movie to you than 2000? Like, do you say it's lower? Do you say? But I don't know how that weighs in terms of your ranking. If you say it was whatever, does that mean it's whatever is better than 2000? Is whatever less than 3? Is it?
Probably like for me, it would probably be like lower than 2000. I just. Because it's mainly because of like time travel. Like I'm very like picky about that because like that can make or break a plot.
yeah.
100%. And then like there is just like there's too many factors going in that just it raises more questions. And I guess that like in the end that's what time travel is supposed to do. Leave those open so that way they can, if they choose to, what's the word I'm thinking of? If they choose to elaborate more on, the door is open. But because again, without seeing really any movie like past, like I don't know how it's going to affect it.
Sure. Which that'll be something that we'll, as we go.
Are
and
we
see it.
doing Mewtwo Returns?
No, I don't have that because that's one like.
If I find it, can we? Or do you not just want to? Do you just want to skip that one?
If you can find it within this week,
Okay.
because I think if it's next, because next week we would be filming Heroes. So if we can find it and watch it, I'm totally down. And I think that's a shorter one too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can fit that one in,
Okay.
and then Heroes. and
Stop. Yeah.
As far as timing goes,
Because
we'll see
I'm
what
very
we see.
positive. I won't use that to score this week. I mean, I already said the placing of it regardless.
Sure.
But I'm very positive that this movie enhances the next one.
Okay.
Because I'm very positive that this movie was used as the catalyst because if it wasn't for this movie, then you don't know that Suicune can purify Lake. And in that, if I remember the movie correctly, they don't tell you that until he does it himself. And yeah, I was just because now that I see that, like, oh, okay, I didn't just make that up. That actually was a thing.
Right.
So, I guess if we start from the bottom, do we go by raise of hands right now?
I think, yeah.
Okay, so by raise of hands, do we think it's above fourth place? Do we think this is not in the bottom movie?
Because oddly enough, because for me, like the movies, like 1, 2, 3, 4 is literally just 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
What's in the bottom right now?
Right now, the bottom is
2000.
2000.
Okay,
So
yeah,
if we go bottom up, it's 2000, 3, 1.
Okay.
So we'll keep hands up. So put them down if you disagree. This movie's better than 2000. Okay. And then this movie is better than 3. Okay. So majority. So this would take third spot. So this will be.
How the fuck are you gonna bitch about this movie? Like, Suicune didn't have enough time. The last movie didn't have a fucking legendary in it.
That's what made it unique. You want to talk about a movie being about people? That one was about a little girl's trauma and resolving
I'm
it.
just fucking right.
I think when I look at it, and maybe it's up to me where I should define what we're doing when we're ranking these and really solidify how we're going to say one's better than another.
Nah, I think we're good.
Okay,
It's-
because I mean,
it's all
just saying,
jokes.
is this movie better than another? I've been thinking of it like, if you put this movie and this movie in front of me, which one am I going to take out of your hand and go watch? And if you hand me, well, that's a bad example, because if you hand me 2004,
Yeah.
I'm going to watch 2000. So that's probably not the best way to look at it, because I see the flaws since we talked about 2000, but I'm also like, I love that movie. Luigi is amazing.
Yeah.
The second favorite legendary after Kyogre, which even then I think about Temple of the Sea, like I don't think about it that much because it's a Manaphy movie, not a Kyogre movie. But it'd be great if it was a Kyogre movie.
I think that once we watch other movies, we can make our own. Each of us can make an individual list.
Sure.
That's
And
what I was
say-
bringing up at the end of the last
Yeah.
podcast. Is that we can have an overall rating as a
Yeah.
group, but then we can also do our individuals as well.
Because I think that if we do like the way we're doing it now, where we do a majority, then we can see how different the list is
Yeah.
once we do our own and we compare it to like the majority.
I mean,
Which I think would be great. I think it'd be nice to have like as a crew.
you know how you show the graphic? You know how in Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat you have the towers in the old games?
Yeah.
So you do like Dante, me, you, and I, Chris, and you just put the tower.
It's a small sample size, but I mean, in theory, the 5 of us should come down to what's the better Pokemon movie, and have it be unbiased as opposed to all of us individually.
So
I know
guys,
that for me it's gonna be hard to get rid of one
I agree with that.
because like I remember Darkrai being really good, but I don't know if it's because I haven't seen it in years.
Sure.
I don't know if it's one of those things because I love Gen 4 and Darkrai is my favorite one of my favorite Pokemon that I'm like in my mind now I'm overhyping it,
Yeah.
and then I go to watch I'm like, yo, this movie fucking sucks.
Because so I'm on the same page.
Darkrai's
Like, right
good
now,
battles.
what I'm most excited for is to watch Darkrai.
Yeah.
Because I know it has, from my memory, one of my favorite intro battle scenes. Even though it's not as in depth as 3.
It has a fucking.
But it's got the Torterra and Pikachu. It's got the Infernape and Croagunk. It's got a bunch of cool fights. And I just remember the Darkrai movie being great.
I remember Homeboy with the
And-
Licky Licky just fucking up that tail.
Yeah. And then if they like bring it in
Gyro
with the, we're getting way ahead. We're like 5-10 movies away. But I remember there being plots where it's like Darkrai is the legendary. Like Darkrai is our Celebi.
Yeah.
But the Suicunes of the Darkrai movie have more purpose served than Suicune did in this movie.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm
Yeah.
thinking ahead. But yeah, so the current list looks like Pokemon, the first movie, in first place. Pokemon 3 in second. Pokemon Forever in third. And Pokemon 2000 in fourth. And again, I'll have a graphic for 3. So we won't have it here, but on the video of the podcast, there'll be a visual of it. Poll challenge time! So, again, we don't have the results from 2000 because we're filming these all together, so that'll probably be in the next one. It's going to be all right, but make sure you go over to Twitter and vote for that poll because that one will be there. The other ones will be somewhere else. It's fine. This week, Chris, you get to start. So
Get
we'll
one
go
of the
around the
7
table.
Pokemon.
The way this will work is we create a poll on either Twitter or whatever social media platform. It's always around. We'll let you know where it's at. But we each pick a Pokemon that showed up in this movie. And the goal is for you guys to vote on which of those Pokemon is your favorite. Not based on the person who chose them, but the actual Pokemon in question. Or if you, I don't care how you vote. Just vote. Vote in the fucking poll. So yeah, Chris will get to start this week as we go around the table. Each movie, a new person starts. So Chris, what Pokemon from Pokemon Forever?
All right, so I thought about this because there's 2 very strong contenders.
Okay.
But I feel the one, easily the best. No one's gonna see it coming. It's rather unexpected. Onyx.
Okay.
So
Onyx.
and that's how I know no one's gonna vote for it because Onyx.
Interesting.
But Homeboy, in his last like moments of just consciousness, looks at this Tyranitar, goes, "Fuck him," and launches him into a lake. He first comes out of the Pokeball, lands on him, smacks this Tyranitar into the lake, and then just like, "I did my job. That's all I was here for."
Okay. Chris goes with Onyx. A unique one, yeah. I didn't think anyone would pick him.
Thumbs
yeah.
up to Father in heaven.
I did it.
All right, Prince
Make
Tone.
me a Steelix.
Houndoom.
Houndoom. Okay.
The monkey noises got him.
I love the way they made him look like a villain. That was like they made him look like what he's supposed to be. So I like that. I always hate when they have like the dark type Pokemon being all cutesy and shit.
Yeah.
When we know they're supposed to be bad as shit.
So I'm really struggling with this one because I think there's very few Pokemon that stand out.
Yeah, there's like 7.
Yeah.
This is where he uses the Pikachu
You know,
card.
you know what my favorite part is?
You know.
You know what my favorite part is? I just realized this. That the new hunter guy shows up for the old hunter guy and he's just like, "Oh damn, you had a Houndoom and a Scyther? Well, I have X Pokemon and Caesar, the one evolved from yours, bitch. Like, I'm better than you." Like,
I think.
just thought about
It's a
that.
power move.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with Tyranitar.
Oh, anxiety Tyranitar.
Yep.
R.I.P. Piloswine.
Sorry.
All right.
That Tyranitar is like
Sticking with the theme of what I normally choose. is-
Motherfucker.
Villain.
There's no magic cards in this one.
I'm gonna go with aggressive Pidgey.
Wait, the aggressive Pidgeys are the one that goes,
That one. The one going through puberty.
Okay. Pidgey, all right. Can I?
In my mind, I'm down to 2 of them.
And you're last one picking, so feel free to discuss how no one can change. So.
Right. I think that I have to go with Ultra Instinct Bayleaf.
Okay.
Because Bayleaf is my favorite of those of the line.
Yeah.
But when that thing just like he's just like Bayleaf, concentrate, and like when that thing said it was like concentrate. And you get the calm mind water drop, and it's just like fucks that Caesar up, dude.
Okay.
Cue orchestra.
Yeah.
So for next time's poll, when I actually have the results for this, we have Chris with Onyx, John with Houndoom, me with Tyranitar, Dante with Pidgey, and Kanai with Bayleaf. And then the following week for maybe Pokemon Mewtwo Returns, if not Pokemon Heroes, we'll know by next time. John will pick first, so that'll be exciting. Now I'm interested if we do Returns, because I don't think that has many new Pokemon. I think we have all the same Pokemon from the first movie.
I think so.
With maybe an exception here or there with Team Rocket.
I know it
but-
shows Suicune again.
And maybe where we have to use the Pikachu card.
Yeah, that one will.
We each pick a legendary.
Yeah, I remember.
Just wait till we get to Hoopa, dog.
Oh.
We're gonna have so many legends.
Bro, I was like terrified to watch Hoopa because I was like all of these like everything I remember past Dark. So in my memory, 1 through 4 great movies, and then I got iffy on the next 2. Really liked Deoxys, and then everything until Darkrai was bad for me. And then everything past that was bad for me until we got the Hoopa and we get the Hoopa. Then we just get kaiju fights, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want, dog.
Dude, I saw the AMV for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck did I miss?
Dude, Hoopa's so good for no reason.
So I'm just gonna say Galore's gonna have really good movies, right?
hope
Because
so.
the lore that they have, I mean, they're pulling from Yggdrasil again with Calyrex. They have the 2 wolves. They have the Dragon Poison that we never got anything for, who's supposed to be like an eater of worlds, whatever.
Eternatus,
Yeah, and so they have so much lore to work with that.
He looks like an Ultra Beast.
Oh wait, no, we did get a Galore movie. We got Coco.
We do have Coco,
Yeah.
which I haven't seen yet because it's
Wait.
not theatrical.
What?
They have it as a movie.
Okay, so when I heard we got Coco, I immediately went to Pixar's. I was like,
Coco.
yeah, I was like,
Exactly.
what?
So that's kind of where I go every time someone brings up Coco.
But if they do one outside of that,
It's
it's going to be amazing because
boss
when you
action.
have the horses and that's essentially pulling into Gen 6, which also uses Yggdrasil.
Yeah.
And it's just I'm waiting for them to do like one on the wolves maybe.
I think we have some good movies coming, and it's maybe just memory or recency bias of being like, these aren't as good as the original. But I think we're going to have some really cool shit to talk about.
We're gonna get Arthur in the Stone essentially with Gen 8.
I mean, also just the like budgets and
Yeah.
like animations quality has risen.
And the fight scenes are all
Yeah.
CGI now.
Yeah,
It'll be lit.
I mean, Suicune was CGI in this
He was,
movie briefly.
right.
yeah, for the
It's kind of weird
To
looking.
get
the budget
Kind of
into that
weird
scene.
looking back at it now that I can see some of that stuff. Not as a kid, I was like, oh shit, this isn't 3D.
yeah.
Well, I think it was a solid podcast.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Pokemon Gotta Watch 'Em All. Make sure you check back every week. We're reviewing another movie right here on the YouTubes. And I haven't worked on doing any podcast services. I suck. But either way. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up. It helps spread the video so more people get to see it.
Vote for Houndoom.
Well, Tyranitar.
Propaganda, straight propaganda.
I'm saying John had the chance to pick Tyranitar and didn't, so
Nah.
sorry. But yeah, social media links are right here below. Make sure you drop these guys a follow on all their platforms, the Instas, the Twitters, the Twitches, the whatever else you want to follow them on. And yeah, anyone else got anything to say on the way out? Cool. Subscribe. Thank you. Good night.
My name's Dundee!